All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start my spill while everybody's trying to come in, give you guys time to catch up. But if you don't know me, my name is Steven Hyder. This is Gate City Sports Channel. This is the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Sorry, guys, I was waiting to go live until Philly Mike got done with his live. I didn't want to go live at the same time because we generally have a lot of this, similar people from our fan base. What's up, Car? I see you, man. So I didn't want to go live while he was going live. We were kind of talking back on Facebook and we were like, yo, who's going to go first? Finally I was just like, whenever you're ready, go ahead and go. So look, this was an awkward week. I don't know if you guys could tell from the content that I was putting out there, but man, this was awkward this week, guys. I don't even know where to start with all the crap we went through this week with that press conference. I mean, to start with, the thing I don't get is why have the press conference if you're not ready to have the press conference yet? I mean, shouldn't you have definitive answers to anticipate what's going to be coming up in the questions? And why have a press conference if you don't have a clear vision of what's going to go on? I mean, you're just setting yourself up to have this exact thing happen to you, to where someone says something stupid, it gets retracted later, but it only gets retracted after something even dumber was said. In the way and in the depiction and the tone of another coach. I mean, it's guys, I don't know what the hell that was. That was a shit show this week. I mean, I didn't anticipate or really plan out that I was going to be sitting down making videos about press conferences this week. It's not what my intent was. My actual intent was to do what I'm going to do this upcoming week, barring that the Eagles don't mess me up again and completely make me have to do something different. But I really want to get into more content that's about who I think is going to be on the team, kind of the stay or go type theme. And I really wanted to talk about break down formations for you guys. I really wanted to talk about what was going on. Yeah, that is how we do, Car. It was crazy. It was crazy, man. This week was crazy. But I mean, my honest intention was to break down film, guys, this week. I wanted to dive into the film and break down film on certain players, give you guys insights on who I think might stick around, what the Eagles need to address. And, I have a lot of content. I got stuff lined up for you guys that comes to showing you guys what teams were doing to us this year. We faced a lot of cover two, especially late in the season, which makes sense because we were dinking and dunking a lot. So teams start to play cover two. I had some stuff lined up to show you what happens to a cover two defense when you add speed. I had some examples from earlier in the season, and man, I'll tell you what, man, we're going to get to it. We'll get to that type of content, guys, but I mean, it derailed me. So I do apologize, but yeah, this week took an unexpected turn for me. I was not expecting to have to do that. But on the concept of stay and go, there's only a couple of y'all here, but we're still going to go ahead and just jump into it because, I always just save it because people can come to it later and watch the video. On the top content of stay or go, this is concept, not content, concept. What do you guys think about the quarterback room? Obviously, we know Carson Wentz. That's not what I'm talking about. We have a kind of a weird situation going on here to where we're going to need a veteran quarterback in the backup role. And I don't know that we have that available. McCown, I highly doubt is coming back, guys. I mean, he's got a house here in North Carolina out by Charlotte. He's a head coach out there for one of the football teams. I would see McCown being more tempted to come back as a coach than as a player. And I'm wondering what's good. Look, the coaching changes may not be done. There's normally a 2-week period. 2 to 3 weeks is when you'll see those coaching changes happen. They don't normally happen within 2 to 3 days. That's a really accelerated rate. So people aren't out of the clear yet. We might still get, hits to our staff at the quarterback position. I even thought that we might see something maybe get shook up at the cornerback position, depending on how they view that. So I don't know that these coaching changes are done yet. What I was saying about Josh McCown is he does seem like a guy that could easily step in as a wide receiver coach or a quarterback coach and probably have a pretty successful career doing that. I mean, he seems to really understand the X's and O's of the game. Josh is going to be in rehab for 6 months at least. I don't know how bad that's going to be, but yeah, I mean, when you tear that hamstring muscle off the bone, I mean, it doesn't sound good. I mean, I don't know much about that, Car, but it sounds like something you have to have surgically repaired. I would imagine there's definitely some kind of an extensive physical therapy for that because obviously that probably affects the amount of weight that you can put on your leg. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've had an injury similar to Deshaun Jackson. When I was a kid, I had it was a hernia. I don't know if they would classify it necessarily as a sports hernia, guys, but it was a hernia, and I actually had to go underneath the knife for that to get it corrected. And like I legitimately had to learn how to walk again and stuff. I mean, it was a big deal. But I've never had like that hamstring. That that seems pretty crazy. G Ward said Josh off the practice squad players. Same thing I heard. I heard that Josh was, instrumental in getting these guys up to speed with, okay, this is where you need to be. This is the route tree. All those type of things. Timing, getting them like accustomed to Carson Wentz's timing and rhythm. Yes, I mean, I really think that I agree, Car. I really think that he would make a great wide receiver coach. I really do. But my question is, and I know there's not a lot of y'all in here, but who do you guys think for about quarterbacks? Because I mean, we got Carson. I don't think Nate Sudfeld's under contract, to be honest with you guys. And then you have Kyle Luletta. Is that how you say his name? I think it's Luletta, something like that, on the practice squad. I mean, I think Sudfeld has the tools, but I am concerned that the coaching staff not only stuck with McCown and wanted McCown since really the beginning of the offseason last year, they wanted McCown, and he finally coaxed him into coming back. But in addition to that, when Sudfeld came back, they didn't even activate him. I mean, some teams don't activate three quarterbacks. So I mean, that could be part of it, but I don't know that's a vote of confidence still. I mean, I don't know. You guys have to tell me. Now I'm going to be in your live stream. Funny, Philly Mike. Yeah, Nate is a free agent now. I thought that's what I'm saying is that we're going to need a veteran presence at the quarterback position, but I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is. Like, I'd have to see, guys. I know who I don't want it to be, and it probably won't be a popular opinion, but I'm going to say hell to the no on Nick Foles if that opportunity comes around. I don't think that's a smart move. I just think that I love Nick Foles. I think he's a great quarterback, and I think he will make a really good backup quarterback for somebody else. But I just don't think you need to rock that boat again. I don't think that's worth it. Let's see. Who for backup quarterback, Mike? Yeah, Mike, what you got, bro? Who do you think about the backup quarterback situation? You going to turn it over to Nate Sudfeld? I mean, I thought that's what we were going to do this year. I don't know that the Eagles coaching staff trusted. That's a big problem. Edward Wright, need to move to a new back. What you mean, man? What do you mean? Cara. Sorry, guys, my throat's dry. I don't even know who to think of. That's the same problem I have in cars. I don't even know who would be available yet. I don't know where we're going to lean yet. I mean, I haven't really got into free agency videos quite yet, so I don't even know where the options lie. I mean, when I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, veteran quarterbacks, that means, look, if a Ryan Fitzpatrick were available, yeah, I'd take that because that's a good insurance policy. I like the moxie. I like the toughness of that guy. Like, yeah, I like that guy. I like that guy being in our quarterback room, to be honest. I think he's going to contribute whether he plays or not. Um, a lot of people not Case Keenum, but I'll say this about Case Keenum. He's a gamer. I think he lacks physical talent, but he is a gamer. I mean, the guy gets up and plays pretty well when he has to. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would take Case Keenum. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I mean, a Case Keenum, I think a Ryan Fitzpatrick, if those guys were to come available, like those two, certainly. I don't know, though. I just don't know the veteran options. Like, it's hard to say who the veteran options would be. Too much of a shadow for Carson to use Foles. Yeah, that's a big problem for me, too. Why rock the boat if you don't have to? You know what I'm saying? Why rock the boat if you don't have to? And guys, I'm going to give you a heads up that my whole setup next week might look different, guys, because as I was, me and Philly Mike were talking back and forth, and I was telling him on Facebook that I think I'm going to probably switch up my my filming room. So I think I'm going to move my office into the bigger spare bedroom I have, just because I need the space between my eBay business and doing this. Like I literally need the space. If you guys can't even see, let me see if I can get it for you guys. Y'all see all that stuff back there? That's all stuff that's getting packaged for eBay. I got stuff over here that's got to go up. Like, I need the space. Running out of space, guys. Sorry about the rocking back and forth. Case Keenum is the perfect backup. Yeah, I agree, man. I think Case Keenum would be a really good backup. Number one, because he's been in our division. So, he knows the ins and outs of the division now that he spent that year there with Washington. But number two, he's a veteran guy that's been around the league. I mean, he's got physical limitations. This isn't Carson Wentz. I mean, but you're not going to get a Carson Wentz as your backup. It's just not going to happen. Like, not going to happen. You know what I mean? So I would love Fitzpatrick if he's available. Yeah, man. Didn't he play when we played them in the Super Bowl year? Oh, you mean the NFC Championship, Carr? He was. He was the Vikings quarterback during the NFC Championship. Fitzpatrick would be a really good quarterback choice, Carr. But the problem with Fitzpatrick is that he's going to be in high demand. People really like him. I mean, obviously, we all like him. I mean, I would love to have Fitzpatrick personally. I really would. Does anyone else have any ideas? I mean, the two I can think of are Case Keenum and Fitzpatrick. Those are the two that if they came available, I would love to have in that quarterback room behind Carson. Other than that, then I think you got to have to roll the dice on someone like Nate Sudfeld or roll the dice on someone like Kyle Uletta. I don't know where else you're going to find a backup. I don't know who else would be available. So let's see. Philly Mike, as the backup, hopefully you don't have to play. Yeah, 100%, man. And if you do, it's supposed to be, 1 or 2 games until the starter gets back. Exactly. I think the backup role, Philly Mike, for me would be more important for the structure it would provide inside of the actual film room. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to contribute with the, quarterback coach, with Peterson and whoever offensive coordinator would be with Carson. Like, I think that helps, man. I think Josh McCown played a pretty big role this season. Obviously coming in that playoff game, we got our money's worth out of him, ripping his hamstring off the bone and everything. But he also, he was out there coaching wide receivers. He was there mentoring like Carson. Like, that dude was well worth the money we paid him. Like, that was a hell of a pickup by the front office before we started the season. Like, it was a good pickup. I'm just wondering, it's hard to keep duplicating these like quality backups we keep getting. I'm just wondering, are our expectations reasonable? Does that make sense? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that the expectation we're going to keep finding these like quality backups the way we keep finding them. But then again, people genuinely like playing for us. So that's hard to say, guys. Y'all want to switch gears a little bit off this quarterback stuff? Let's talk about the running back room of Eli. Kara, I don't know that Eli wouldn't want to be a starter still. And I don't know that Eli would be, there's a weird segment of our fan base, Kara, that I think would be sitting there trying to call for Eli. Just because some people I don't know, man. I think some people just want to be dissenters just to be dissenters at times. So like that would mess me up. You're funny, Philly Mike. Philly Mike said, what about Steve Hyder for backup? If y'all don't know me, that's me. Yeah, Philly Mike, if you want a guy that's 36, hasn't played quarterback in probably, I don't know, outside of playing in my backyard, kidding around and like coaching, I haven't played since I was like 17, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if my shoulder and my elbow could take it at this point, dude. Be real with you. I don't know that I got it. I wish I did, man. I would love to take that couple $1 million backup salary. I can tell you that right now. 14-0 Titans. As I said, Steven, I'm pulling for the Titans personally, but if I had to bet, although I say this, man, you give the Titans a lead, they are a running team. They're going to try to run the clock out on you. Some people want to watch the world burn, laugh out. Exactly, Carr. Exactly. Some people do. Philly Mike, you're younger than Josh McCown. Yeah, that is true, Philly Mike. I am younger than him, but I got to be real with you, man. I think the first time I get laid out and take a hit, bro, I'm done. I'm tapping out. Hey, somebody go check on Carson, see if he can come back in. I don't know, man. Like, just not taking a hit like that in so long, I don't think my body can hold up to it anymore, man. Like, when I'd be out there playing with these kids, I'd be coaching. Like, sometimes we'd be playing pickup games like basketball after like baseball or football practice. Like, we'll go to the gym. We'll play a pickup game of basketball. Man, by the time I'm done playing a pickup game of basketball, I feel like I got done running a 10K or something. Like, it's crazy how when you get older, man, you start feeling everything. It's nuts, bro. I remember, man, when I was a kid, bro, I'm not even a kid. I used to go out when the sun came up. And, I'll be playing like football, baseball, basketball. Like, we played until like my parents were basically making me go back in. Dude, like playing like, an hour and a half long pickup game, bro, I'd be hurting after that. I don't know, man. I don't know how some of these old dudes doing it. Sandeep, Ravens choking. Yeah, man, I'm not going to count them out because that's a team that can put up points. But I did think that the Titans were a lot better team than people were giving them credit for. I mean, they got a very good coach in Vrabel. I mean, Vrabel's proven himself to be pretty damn good. I didn't even get to the running backs, guys. I'm sorry. So running backs. I think we already know the 1-2 combination here. We know that it's going to be Miles Sanders. We know it's going to be Boston Scott. I think the real key here is, are we going to keep 4 running backs? And if we're not going to keep 4 running backs, we're only going to keep 3. Does Jordan Howard actually have a role here? And, I think that we're getting ourselves into a weird territory with practice squad players, to where, how are we going to, shape our roster through the practice squad? And then where are we going to find, not even practice squad, let's just go to special teams. Where the hell are we going to find special teams production? Because a lot of our guys are playing pivotal roles within like the offense. And I'm wondering that about the wide receiver group too. And I know we haven't gotten there yet, but that's one of my big questions there. But what do you guys think about Jordan Howard? I mean, me personally, if the money's right, I would love to have Jordan Howard back, because I do think that we need that physical back. I think we need a guy that can put his head down and go get 3 or 4 yards every time he touches the football. I just think it makes the Eagles offense different. I was going back and watching film again today, guys, for a lot of the content I'm going to be putting out over the next couple of weeks. And I got to tell you, man, seeing the speed of this football team before we lost to Deshaun Jackson, seeing Alshon play before he started having troubles with the leg, because Alshon looked like a different guy in that Redskin game, man. I was shocked at how well he played. Seeing Jordan Howard in the lineup. And then there was just growth pieces, guys. I saw a lot of growth in weird places. Carson Wentz, from week 1 to what we saw at the end of the season, man, that guy grew a lot over the course of the season. I mean, he looked like a different guy on film. And then Miles Sanders, like seeing Miles Sanders dance in the backfield, being unsure about going through the hole and timing it correctly, to what he became over the course of the year, and the way that he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be very, very like interested in seeing that. Sandeep, I don't think there's any Eagles news yet, not anything pivotal yet. We did sign a cornerback off. I want to say, I don't know if it was the Vikings or the Chargers. Maybe it was I can't remember. We signed the corner though. We did sign a corner the other day. You don't know, Carr? Let's see. Sandeep says keep him. I think we want to see what Holyfield. I don't think he's as powerful, but he's faster than Howard. I haven't really seen the guy play. He looks like he's pretty physical. I'll give him that. What his skill set is, I know the coaching staff was high on him. So they knew in the draft that they liked this kid a lot. They didn't pick him up. They didn't take him. Which gets into a whole nother element of using our 5th round pick on a scrub quarterback. But still, I mean, that's an interesting point there, Carr, that if we don't sign Jordan Howard, then what do we do? Are we sure about Holyfield? Do we go in the draft, late in the draft, and find a power back? Do we sign someone from free agency? I just think this Eagles offense has to have that ability to line up and go get a yard or 2 with our running back. I think we sometimes we do flirt around a little bit with that, to where we can't really get physical with teams. This year was mostly due to a lot of injuries, but I just want to make sure that we're smart about building this roster as we go forward. Eddie, what's up, buddy? I would get rid of Corey Clement and keep Howard and Scott and Sanders. Yeah, Eddie, I'm actually a really big fan of Corey Clement. I liked him a lot, but I agree with what you're saying. As much as I like Corey Clement, I do think it is time to move on. I mean, to be honest about it. I would love to have Howard back. Like, me personally, I think it's going to come down to the money. Money, and will he take a lesser role? Because he's not going to take snaps away from Miles Sanders. So we got to figure that part out. But Jordan Howard said he wants to be here. He did say that. All right, Philly Mike, what you got, bro? I would love to have Howard back. Only way I see that, if he takes a team-friendly deal. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right, Mike. To be honest, Mike, it's probably true. I guess the real question is, though, Mike, do you think he'll actually take a team-friendly deal to stay here in Philadelphia? I mean, my question is, do you guys honestly think there's a team out there that's just going to hand him the starting running back role? I don't know if like running backs are not that hard to find, I would say. They're not that difficult to find in this league. So I don't know that anyone's really going to like go crazy to find, I'll say this about the guy. He's got really good contact balance. The dude he always falls forward, which is a huge deal. All right. Trevor Williams is the new corner we signed. Yeah, you got it, man. Sorry, guys, it jumped down on me. When will we start seeing if players will stay like Howard? Not until about March, man. You might hear rumors before March, but the league year won't start until March something. So you can't really do anything unless they, work out. Well, I don't know if they can extend players that are still on a roster yet, but if they can still keep doing that. But you can't really like sign other players. You can't do anything like that until you can't really mess with free agents per se until that March, till March when the new league calendar starts, basically. Let's see. I forgot about Corey Clement. Well, I mean, we lost him what was the first or second week? So, I mean, it's kind of understandable why a lot of people forgot about him. I watched his highlights. He's I'm sorry, Carr, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Holyfield or are you talking about Clement? Which one? I mean, Holyfield, I think he was at Georgia because I thought I saw him play once or twice, but he doesn't stand out to me. He didn't stand out to me there. Now, look, I wasn't really looking for him, guys. I wasn't sitting there I got to watch this Elijah Holyfield kid run. I mean, I wasn't really looking like that, but he didn't stand out to me in the little bit of games that I watched. Okay. Got to look into him more. I'm going to do a video on him tomorrow. Cool. Yeah, let me know what you find out, Mike, because like I said, I really don't know much about the kid. I don't. I wish I had more insight to give you guys on Elijah Holyfield, but he was such a late signing in the year. We had so many other pieces moving that I never got around to really making a real film on him, like a film breakdown. I got to tell some 3 demon children some stories. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Funny. We'll see what Holyfield does. Maybe he will be a surprise out of nowhere. Yeah, man. Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say without really seeing him in game action. I mean, you can tell a little bit from spring practices and summer drills and training camp and then, preseason, but even that's not a definitive thing. So it's hard to say, guys. Let's I think we all got kind of an idea where we're at on running backs. Let's talk about wide receivers. What do you guys think about the wide receiver situation? Now, this is where I think there's a lot of iffy going on here. There's a lot of argument that can happen here because I'm just going to list them out real quick while they're on my head. But let's talk about who we got on roster. We know we got Alshon Jeffrey. We know we got Deshaun Jackson. Right? We know we got Greg Ward Jr. We know we got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. We know we got Rob Davis. And we know we got, what's his name? Deontay Burnett. That's the U2 legend, guys. So I'm not even counting Gibson because I really think Gibson would have a hell of a time getting back on the squad. But I'll put him in there. I'll put Gibson in there just for the hell of it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. This is what I'll say about Alshon. You guys tell me in the comments what you guys are thinking here. Alshon, I do think will probably be on IR, if not the PUP list. And, I'm not even confident saying he'll be back, to be real. I don't know if the rumors were true. I don't want to get into that because I don't trust Howard Eskin. I don't think Howard Eskin is a reliable source. With that said, the one thing that is undeniable is when that man left the lineup, we got better. And that is something to look at. I mean, it's hard to ignore that fact that we got better when he left. The other side of it is that the kid is talented. If you guys go back, this is what I'll tell you guys to do if you ever get time. If you guys have NFL Game Pass, go back to the Washington game before Alshon got that injury because he injured himself, remember, in the Atlanta game. And to me, he was never as good as he was in that Washington game afterwards. If you go back and watch him in Washington, like he's catching like little quick 3 to 5 yard routes, shedding tackles, getting upfield. I mean, making plays, using them strong hands, boxing people out, using his body. Like he was never the same after that game. And I don't know if that's injury. I think it is. I don't think he was right following that game, but he makes the decision really hard. But I do think that there is a possibility you could save yourself a lot of money because, guys, if you cut him, it's $26 million that you got to pay out. Now, you can designate him by the June designation. You can split that up over 2 years. So it'll save you. But I don't know if it's worth cutting somebody that you can put on IR. I mean, he's not going to affect your team on IR. He's not taking up a roster space. You guys tell me what you think. I don't necessarily know that I have the solutions for all that. Deshaun Jackson, me personally, as long as Deshaun can run and be who he is, I'll take Deshaun on our football team. I do think you have to have a backup plan because we all know that I always have a saying for Jason Peters: death, taxes, and false starts. That's Jason Peters, right? It's 3 things you can guarantee in life: death, taxes, and you're going to get a false start on Jason Peters. Well, with Deshaun Jackson's case, he's going to miss a game or two due to injury. No doubt about it. So you got to have that backup plan there. But me personally, I would keep him for another year. When this kid's in the lineup, he's a difference maker. There's no doubt about it. And I know I'm a little biased because I'm a huge Deshaun Jackson guy. So I will admit my own bias with that. But when I watch film, man, he's a huge, huge dude. I mean, for me, I think he gets open and he brings everyone else open. All right, Sandeep, Scott came out of nowhere. Yeah, man. I thought Scott was really good in the preseason, to be honest. I thought he should have been on the 53-man roster. I didn't see that kind of production coming out of him, though, man. I thought he would be good, but I didn't think he would be that good this fast. It was very surprising. Sandeep, Whiteside can go. I'm not too high on him. That's a hard one. I'm going to get to that one, Sandeep. Let me circle back right after the comments, and I'll get back to that because we're not done with the receivers yet. Beatrice, what's going on? How are you? Greetings from France. Wow, Beatrice. That's cool. Sandeep, I still haven't forgotten him for the drop last year against the Saints. Yeah, but I mean, drops happen, man. I mean, it was unfortunate when it did happen. They happen, though, man. Every receiver drops a pass. They do. I think, honestly, he dropped way more passes this season that were concerning to me than he did last season, personally. As clutch as he was in that Chicago game, hey, Mike, I just got your Facebook message, man. You're good, dude. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. What was I saying? Guys, I lost my track of thought. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. In the Chicago game, it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or whatever, because he was dropping passes early in the game, but then when Wentz went on that long drive, right, where he just basically ran the clock out on the Bears, like, man, Alshon was critical in catching conversions on that. So, I mean, like, it's a weird thing with him, man. All right, let's read a couple more, guys, and we'll get back to it. Eddie, what wide receiver would you take in the draft? Good question, Eddie. I want more speed. And I want to see where the chips fall. Any 3 of the Alabama wide receivers, I'll be real with you, Eddie, I would take any 3 of them. Any 3 of them I would take. All 3 of them are slated to go way before the 20th pick. Now, generally speaking, when people start going up there and grabbing quarterbacks, when they start, reaching for offensive linemen, that means other people fall down the draft board. So if any of those guys, I think we're what are we, 21st or something like that this season? No, that doesn't sound right. 20-something. We're in the mid-20s. If anyone falls that far, I would take them. I would absolutely take one of those 3. There's another kid that's really fast out of Colorado as well. He's a shorter guy, not the bigger guy. There's a shorter guy I want to say he's out of Colorado, a lot of speed. We need speed, guys. We need a lot of speed, to be honest. That was huge. I'm doing good, Beatrice. I'm doing really well. Yeah, Sandeep, speed, man. Honestly, if they can catch and they got speed, I'll take them. I ain't going to be picky. I mean, the amount of guys we missed on Sandeep this past year that had speed, it hurts. It hurts, man. I'm not down on J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. I mean, the kid's still got time to develop. But at this point, you can't lie to yourself and say that it wasn't a mistake to draft him where we drafted him. If we drafted this kid in the 5th, 4th, 6th round, something like that, hey, I mean, no problem with him needing more time to develop. We draft a guy in the 2nd round, that guy shouldn't take this long to start contributing. Like, I'm a little concerned there, personally. Woo, what's up, Kara? Sandeep 21. So we're the 21st pick. Okay. So we got the 21st pick. We might be in line to catch one of these Alabama receivers. If someone always falls down the draft board, guys. Now, I don't think it'll be Ruggs, but if we can get Henry Ruggs, guys, I would definitely like that. That would be, to me, that'd be a great pickup for us. I mean, what do you guys think? Is there anyone in particular you guys are looking at? I mean, I haven't really gone through and analyzed film yet on these college prospects. So I'm trying to be very guarded on who I endorse, if that makes sense. Because until I can really get film on them, I want to be careful with endorsing a player. They should talk to Lord Brunson about who to take at wide receiver. I'll shoot him a message. I'll talk to him a little bit. I know what you meant, Sandy. I mean, I'll talk to Philly 500 a little bit if I get a chance. I'm not Philly 500, but Lord Brunson. If I get a chance and just see if he's had a chance to look over film on any of them. It's hard to pull film on college players. That's the problem. So I can see the replay of games on YouTube, but like where I can go into NFL Pass and watch any game and I can see the all 22, man, I don't get those angles. I don't get those looks from the college game. So it is really hard to break down film that way. So like, I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go out there and endorse somebody and then like they really not have the tools to make it. I mean, look at the way that people were endorsing J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Some people thought he was going to be a big deal. I would have drafted DK Metcalf. Yeah, Eddie, I think a lot of people in hindsight would have. I mean, look. You had Slayton. Slayton fell down to the 5th round. I think what's his name from Washington? He was a 3rd rounder. What was his name, guys? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. McLaurin. McLaurin was a 3rd rounder. Like we could have had DK Metcalf. My bad, guys. McLaurin or Slayton. All 3 of those guys we could have drafted. We drafted none of them. That's a hard pill to swallow, guys. That one is. I like to see that wide receiver out of Oklahoma. You talking about DK Metcalf? I think a lot of people realize the physical talent and tools that DK had. I think what turned a lot of teams off of DK is when you looked at when DK did his 3-cone drill, guys, it was bad. Like he did worse on the 3-cone drill than what Tom Brady did. And I think that turned a lot of teams off. That's why I said when I did the video on Rob Davis, I warned people, be weary of workout warriors sometimes because, number one, I think the 40 times sometimes is the worst. It's the worst stat to try to use to judge a player's speed in a football game because your speed has more to do than just your ability to run in a straight line. It has a lot to do with your understanding of the playbook, your familiarization with the route tree, your timing with your quarterback, how you get in and out of breaks, how you set your hips correctly. Like there's way more to it than just how fast you run in a straight line. So, I mean, unless you're running a fade route, that's not going to really matter. Now, I will say this about DK Metcalf. I don't know if something was going on there, but when I watched him play, last weekend, I didn't see a guy that it looks like maybe that 3-cone drill was maybe it was, I don't know, maybe he just wasn't feeling good. I don't know what happened there, guys, because he looks more explosive than what he put out there. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Lamb. Yeah. If they fall, they got to fall to us. That's the thing. At 21st, we're going to need people to fall. I do think we're going to luck up and find somebody. I really do. I mean, we can take a look real quick. Let me take a look and see who they got projected here, guys. I know Philly Mike. I don't want to because Philly Mike might make a video on it, so I don't want to mess up what he was doing. But Philly Mike was sending me some stuff today, guys, where we were talking a little bit about mock drafts on the Eagles and who people are saying. So we'll see. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is who you guys are thinking of. CeeDee Lamb. So I know that T. Higgins has been linked to us. Justin Jefferson from LSU apparently was linked to us. Me personally, I'm a big CeeDee Lamb guy. I would take Jerry Jeudy. I would definitely take Henry Ruggs from Alabama. Let me see, guys. Let me see this list, guys. I can tell you from the list who I'm familiar with. T. Higgins, I'm a little iffy on, guys. I get a lot. I do get a chance to see Clemson play quite a bit out here. Sorry, guys. It's taking forever for this thing to come on and load up for me. So, who are your all's top three? Y'all do me that. Leave me in the comment. Tell me who's your top three. If you were to ask me, I would probably say Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and then there's the other dude. I can't remember his name, man. Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb. Sorry, guys. It's popping up on the videos here. Yeah, hey, Philly Mike, give me a second. I'll send you the link, man. No, that's not the dude either. I don't know if I would do Henry Ruggs. I mean, maybe Henry Ruggs up in the top three, but I'd have to see, guys. Hey, I'm gonna send Philly Mike the link real quick, guys. Sorry, let me get my cam to pull back up. It does this every now and then. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, definitely, guys. Definitely CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna send Philly Mike the link here, so I'm gonna pull Philly Mike into the chat with us, guys. So what do you guys got? I see Carpool, you like CeeDee Lamb. I like CeeDee Lamb a lot as well. Sorry, guys. As soon as I get my camera to work, I'm still messing with it, but I don't want to go back out of here and have to keep coming back in. So let me see if I can't get this thing to work somehow. Man, I hate this thing. Hey, Bleed Green, I like Robbie Anderson a lot too. I do like Robbie Anderson a lot because he's got a proven track record. All right, can y'all see me again? Sorry, this thing was messing around with me. I like Robbie Anderson a lot, guys. So Robbie Anderson would definitely be one for me as well. Robbie Anderson, I think, would definitely give you some flexibility. It makes it to where you don't have to reach for a player. I think if you go in with a big need of speed, you know what I'm saying? That's where you can start really making mistakes. It's dark. I'm scared. Guys, give it a few more minutes. I promise you it's gonna pop back up. It's gonna pop back up. It messed with me for a second, guys. I had to go in and out of it again. Sorry. Every now and then it'll do that, like my cam will cut off on me. So normally it's easier because if I got like Philly Fresh or Philly Mike in here, I can go out of the studio and back in again and I'm fine. So what do you guys think about like Henry Ruggs and stuff like that? You guys aren't big on Henry Ruggs or any of those guys? I mean, me personally, I like Ruggs. I think Henry Ruggs would be a pretty good one. I see they got Michael Pittman. Let me see, guys. Laviska Chenault from that's the dude's name, and I can never pronounce it, guys, but like Chenault or something like that from Colorado. He's one that I've seen a lot of people linking us to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you good, man.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? For real? Hey guys, let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm gonna go back out and come back in because they might not be able to hear me. All right, guys. Sorry, man. I'm still messing with this thing to try to get it to work right. All right, let's see what you guys got here. Oh no, you're back. All right, can you hear me now, man? Really? I can hear you. That's the crazy thing. Hey, guys, in the comments section, let me know if you can hear me. Because Philly Mike can't hear me. So, Michael, you can hear me? That's weird, bro, because I can hear you, Philly Mike. Hopefully you can see what I put down there. I don't know, man. That's weird, dude. Everyone else can hear me, thankfully. All right, Jack Mack, you said, yeah, I told him to go back out and go back in, guys. It's probably something on his end because I can hear him. That's the crazy thing. I can hear him fine. Ruggs is decent, but I'm not dying for him. Hey, Bleed Green, we need linebackers. We should draft one in the second round. Would you go second round on linebacker, though? I mean, I'm not opposed to that idea. To me, it's more like, okay, who's best available? Where can you go get them? But I do think Bleed Green, with the amount of picks we have, we can probably really target certain players, to be honest. And we probably should, because we do need a lot of help at a lot of positions. I do agree with you that, like, we need, like, a lot of help at linebacker. Kara, Ruggs is decent, but I'm not dying for him. I like him, but sometimes I get a little scared when you have that many players on one team because, it always makes you wonder just how good are all of them. Is one person like really opening up coverages for people? Like, it's crazy. Jack said you can only hear me. Yeah, he's coming back. We'll see in a minute. All right, I see him again, guys. Let me try again. Can you hear me, man? You still can't hear me for real?
I know
it's crazy because I can hear you.
That's weird. You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Say something again. All right, try to talk.
3 strikes and you're out.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, we're trying to work on Philly Mice, guys. I don't know what's going on with his, man. I can hear him perfectly, but he can't hear me, and you guys can't hear him. That's crazy, man. You don't think we're too far off? I think it depends on how people perform that we have on the roster. So, like, what I was getting to, guys, is we have Alshon, Deshaun, Greg Ward Jr., J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Rob Davis, Deontay Burnett, and Gibson. Obviously, we're probably not going to carry more than 5 wide receivers. Maybe we carry 6 if we're just really that talented there, but I doubt it. So who are your 5? So if I make a new stream car, like, it's going to mess everything up. It's going to have like 1,000 streams on here. We'll see if you can come back in. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. Oh, so Jack, you could hear him the last time. Dang, that sucks. Who are your 5 guys? So you have Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Greg Ward Jr., J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Rob Davis, Deontay Burnett, and Gibson. Where I get scared, guys, is that you look at a guy like Robbie Anderson, which I would love to add, but a free agent in general, right? Robbie Anderson. And then what about, you go and you draft a guy, right? Where are those positions coming from? I mean, you could definitely put Alshon Jeffrey on IR, no doubt about it. You could put him on IR, or you could put him on the PUP list, and he won't count against, your roster totals. But then you still only have what? Deshaun Jackson, you got Greg Ward Jr., you got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. Those 3 I would think are probably locks. I know a lot of people don't like J.J., but seeing J.J. Arcega-Whiteside be cut after being a second-round pick the year prior, to me, seems like a stretch. Would you guys guarantee a space for Rob Davis or for Deontay Burnett? Would you guarantee spaces for them? Because where I'm looking at it is, I thought Rob Davis played really well in his opportunities. I thought he was doing a lot on the field. I don't think he got a lot of opportunity in terms of, like, actual targets. But when I watched his route running, it was pretty good. So, I mean, I could really see a camp battle between Rob Davis and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside for the X wide receiver position, to be honest. You know Deshaun's going to play that Y. You know Greg Ward Jr. is going to be in that slot. So I don't know. What would you guys think? Who are you guarantee on the roster and who are you guys not? You got me?
Yes.
Yo, the crazy thing is the last time you did it, everyone else could hear you. I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me on the last one. That's crazy. All right, so I was talking to them. This is what I said to them. This is your wide receiver grouping right now. Alshon Jeffrey, Deshaun Jackson, Greg Ward Jr., J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Rob Davis, Deontay Burnett, and then Gibson. Who's on, who's off?
It's hard to really say. We've seen so little tape on all these last receivers. Like Gibson came in for one game. He's been floating around the Eagles. We know what he can and can't do, kind of. But, I mean, if he never made a team prior to us desperate, why would he make it now? You know what I'm saying? Out of all of them, Greg Ward definitely making it. And probably out of Burnett, Davis, and Gibson, I'm going to probably ride with Davis. So that's probably pretty much it. Put them back on the practice squad unless other teams get them so we can still keep them for the just in case.
See, that's the crazy thing is I like Deontay Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to go out and sign a guy like Robbie, like if you go get a free agent like Robbie Anderson, I think that probably spells doom for Rob Davis, to be honest. Even if you don't go get a Robbie Anderson, you go into the draft. I mean, Deontay Burnett would probably get a chance depending on where you draft the kid. But, yeah, man, I think he might be the odd man out. And I wouldn't put it past Shelton Gibson to sneak his ass onto the roster because of his special team play. I don't prefer that. But this is what I was talking about earlier, which is if you look at these group of receivers, outside of Greg Ward Jr. fielding punts and stuff, who plays special teams?
You're right.
Alshon not going to play special teams, even if he is on the roster, which I doubt. D-Jax, he can field punts and stuff, but he's not going to be a gunner. He's not going to do any of that stuff.
Mm-mm.
Greg Ward Jr., I don't know if he can play outside of fielding punts. I don't know enough about him really to say that with confidence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
JJ, do you think he can actually be a gunner? Do you think he can play? Do you guys think any of that?
I mean, why not? Why not try him over there? At the end of the day, it's a lot easier to learn special teams. You know what I mean? Your job is to, after you're done doing if you're a gunner, go down and get him. If you're blocking, block a little bit, and then as soon as go tackle the guy. It's like fumble rumble. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Jack Matter, he said, well, hang on, let me go up here. Bleeding Green said AJ Green is too old, I think. Bleeding Green, I agree with you. He is too old. You're just basically adding probably a slightly more talented Alshon Jeffrey, but an older, more injury-prone Alshon Jeffrey, I'll say. Carpool said she likes Davis. I like him a lot, too. Jack Matter, he said Ward, D-Jax, Rob Davis, JJ, Robbie Anderson, or Odell. You got high hopes, bro. He said, or Odell.
Or Odell, we're going to get one of them.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson or Odell.
Something like.
Hey, Jack, if you become the GM, bro, I'll pull for you. Jack said he's not playing, bro. He's going after whatever he can lock up for Carson. All right. Cara said, what's up? I think Howie's going to trade for a big-name wide receiver. You think so, Jack?
Robbie.
Man. I don't know.
Robbie Anderson or Odell.
I don't know. I mean, he had an opportunity this season and he didn't do it. I'll be honest with you guys. You guys can disagree with me. That's cool. It's fine. I'll be real with you. I would have traded a second-round pick to go get Robbie Anderson. I'd have traded a first-round pick for Devontae Parker, to be honest. I know that's controversial, but, I mean, we're picking 21. I would have given you the 21st pick for Devontae Parker. Kid's still young. You got a lot of years of football left.
And he showed it against us. He balled.
Yeah. Let's see. Bleed Green. I don't want Jason Peters back no more. What you mean, bro? If we don't have false starts, what are we going to do with ourselves?
Hey, you seen on the video I did yesterday, he only had 10 penalties, which ranked him 13th in the NFL. But, I mean,
oof.
Yeah, I wouldn't take him. He was on my do not resign list.
Yeah, I don't think I'd bring him back either, to be honest.
I caught some heat for that though. A lot of people commented. A couple people commented and said like, I agree with your first two, but Jason Peters, bring him back. It's not. My whole thing is if he had more left on his deal, then of course let him finish it out. But how are you going to give this guy a new deal with his age, his injuries, and what can you offer the guy? You know what I mean? And he's not taking. He won't take a team friendly deal after seeing Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson getting paid. You know what I mean? So can't pay him.
Yep. Cody, what's up, buddy? All right, Jack, I want to get to some of your comments, buddy. I'm sorry, it's like scrolling down past me. I wouldn't put it past Howie to make a big move. All right, I'm going to throw this one out there for everybody. I'll give you my scenario where I think this could happen. You guys tell me, am I nuts or do you think there's something to it? We're sitting here at the 21st pick. We inquire about moving up in the draft to go get one of these young receivers. It's too expensive. We can't do it. We're sitting at the 21st pick, and now we have an opportunity to go get a guy like Devontae Parker for that 21st pick. I could see Howie doing that. I just don't see the Dolphins being willing to depart with him for the 21st pick. But I could see Howie doing something similar to that, if that makes sense. I don't know that you can – I don't know. I don't have a guy in my mind that's worth the 21st pick, but I could see Howie making that kind of move. What do you think, Philly? Philly Mike, I should say.
I agree. I could definitely that would be the only thing I could possibly see as well. And yes, then I would do that because Devontae Parker is a proven first round pick. You know what I mean? Unlike some of these guys, because these guys who are good receivers in college, they can come out and like look at Laquan Treadwell. Treadwell was supposed to be a good receiver. He went to the Vikings, and I mean, he got a lot of people to beat out like Thielen and Diggs, but Treadwell hasn't done nothing really. He was big. I kind of secretly wanted the Eagles to get him that draft.
Jack said that he's fast. He can high point the ball, Parker. Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, Jack, I would have given up. I would have given up in the first one. If a first round pick would have freed him from Miami, not only would I have paid his contract and signed him to an extension, I would have damn sure traded a first round pick for him. Because I think he would have made Carson Wentz a lethal quarterback. I'm about to do the same thing, man. Actually, like my shit's way up. It's like up on the ceiling.
You're just like this, like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like a kid. Like I got to sit on phone books. Let's see. Michael said if we draft one of the top receivers, he's got to start. Ooh. Would you award him the job, Michael, or would you make him fight for the job? Because I got to tell you, man, I look forward to seeing an ex-receiver have to fight for that position with Rob Davis and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. You get the right wide receiver coach in here, that could be a really interesting wide receiver room. There's a lot of talent. There's not a whole lot of production. A lot of physical gifts out of some of those guys. I mean, I know that for me, Deshaun Jackson being in the Y, Greg Ward Jr. being in your Z, and then find me an X. And then get me somebody in case I need someone with speed just in case Deshaun Jackson goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to go through that crap again. That was ridiculous this year, man. Cara, interesting. Did you see her comment?
Which one?
I don't know if Djax and OBJ would get along. I don't know either. Although I'd be more concerned about the relationship between Wentz and OBJ more than anything. If you were to say, Steve, was there any point in the season where you felt Carson Wentz forced the football? I would say there were times I felt like he was trying to placate and make some guys happy. And I did see some elements, not that they weren't good throws, not that he didn't read the defense correctly, but I thought that there were probably better developing plays down the field that were probably better progressions for Carson to go through than to put it in the hands. I'm just going to say it. Put it in Alshon Jeffrey's hand. To be real. Yeah, I know what you meant, Car. It's all good. Win. We better win, yeah. All right, so let's see. Cody, I would use Peters as the left guard position or draft that position. Ooh, what do you think?
Again, I just wouldn't be able to sign him back for the simple fact that I don't see a reasonable price he would accept for the job. And we have Dillard, and Samalu's not that bad. He has up and down games, but he is pretty solid. He's probably the weakest link on this line because you got guys like Pro Bowlers like Brooks and Kelsey and Lane Johnson, but Samalu's not a bad guy. So I like Samalu actually, and what he was like a late pick. He was like a fifth round pick too, right, or fourth?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was definitely later. Cody, can I give you a scenario there? I'll give you my scenario. Let's say that Jason Kelsey's done. He's like, okay, look, I said I was going to retire. I'm finally going to do it. Well, we all know that Suamalu is probably the guy slotted to take over at center. Unless we go draft a stud, it's going to be Suamalu. I could see a scenario there to where you bring Peters back as your left guard if he's willing to move inside, and that's the piece I don't know. I don't know that he's willing to do that. I don't know. What do you think? You think he would do it?
I mean, the guy didn't want to go play right tackle when he sent the rookie over there. You know what I mean? So I doubt that.
So if he's not willing to go inside, he wants to play tackle. I mean, you could see if he'd want to be a backup and be more of a coaching role, but to be real with you, I'd rather get young at the offensive line. I think we need to infuse some youth there, to be honest. I really want to see what's the other guy's name? Suapea. You know what I'm talking about?
Sua Opeta, or Opeta, Opea.
Opeta, Sua, Opeta, Sua, something like that.
OPTEA.
yeah, that dude. I really want to see him get some actual like opportunity. I want to see if he can play because he looked really good in preseason. So I would definitely like to see him play. All right, let's see. Jack says, nah, man, Peter's got to go. We drafted Dillard in the first round to take over. If you didn't feel Dillard can, then you wasted a pick. Jack, can I be honest? I'm scared we might have. I think Dillard has all the potential in the world. I worry about that man's mental toughness. He does worry me with the mental toughness issue.
Why is that?
He had issues going back to the joint practices we had, to where when someone gets under his skin, he does not handle it well. Now, the rumor I heard was that Peters was prepping him to be a professional. So we have to see if he's progressed that way. But, I mean, let's just go back. Do you guys honestly feel that he put himself in the right mental state to play right tackle that week?
No.
You guys get what I'm saying? I do wonder. I think if you just leave him on the left side and don't, you know what I mean, and keep his mental state right, he's fine. But, I mean, there are concerns. I'm not going to act like there's not concerns there. The guy is super talented. I'll be honest with you. In terms of pass blocking, he's one of the most talented left tackles I've seen coming out of college. I haven't seen much better than that.
Well,
but he reminds me of some of the kids I used to teach. They're a lot of talk. They're not very tough.
Well, let me just say this on that topic. I mean, we drafted him for the left. He should just be left to be on the left. You know what I mean? And I can see where you said about his mindset, because he took himself out of that right tackle position just by coming out and saying it's like writing with your opposite hand. It's not easy. But if he's going, look at Jason Peters, 15-year career, Hall of Famer. He's never been asked to do anything but the left side. So you keep Dillard on the left side. I think he's a stud. I saw a lot from him when we went against Chicago, and he pretty much took Khalil Mack out the game. That was impressive.
I do agree with Jack's overall premise, though, which is you put a first-round pick on a guy, you can't sit him 2 years in a row. This isn't Aaron Rodgers, and we don't have Brett Favre. I mean, it's a different situation. Can't do that. Not to mention Aaron Rodgers did fall in Green Bay's lap.
Yeah.
Ooh, bleed green. Did you see that comment?
No, I didn't.
You know what would be a big surprise to get in a trade? Jamal Adams.
Oh, yeah, I did. I seen that then.
Does he play the free or the strong now? I don't even know that one.
It's hard.
Normally, if he's playing the boundary side, then he's the free. But if he's playing the field side, then he's the strong.
I know he's. I would call him the hands down the best safety in the game right now.
That boy can thump, man. He can hit.
He's a beast.
Yeah, him and Jenkins would be a monster safety combo.
Are you for bringing Jenkins back? Well, not bringing him
Yeah,
back, but are you for giving him more than that 7 million and keeping him on the team?
he's worth more than 7 mil. Yeah, I mean, this would normally if I was looking at a guy that old, Mike, this is what I would say. You got to be concerned about the injuries, but because of the special circumstances, this kid has not missed a snap in like 2 years. I'm not that worried about it.
Correct. Durable. He's durable.
Yeah. What's good, my boys? What's up, Market Spikes? How you doing, buddy? Cody said that Jamal Adams will be Dawkins 2.0 for sure.
Dang, how are you so far up on the comment list?
How far down are they? Yeah, they definitely down. All right, guys, my bad, man. Let me speed this up.
Yeah, it's real far.
I'm way. Yeah,
That's
my bad, guys. Hold up. What? Damn, was I that far?
Yes, that's why when you said about that pick, I'm like, dang, he talked about Jamal Adams like an hour ago. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so Jack said, if I were the Dolphins, I'd hold on to Parker now. Eagles are too late on Parker. Yeah, Jack, 100%, bro. You're right. Kara, JJ, I think a Whiteside looks like Freddie Mercury. Nothing to do with anything, but just an observation. Hey, Bohemian Rhapsody, I guess. I'm going to be honest. Outside of the wideout from Oklahoma and Clemson, out and their running back, there isn't more, but that's who to me, maybe. We need to start looking for Kelsey's replacement. He's getting older and he could retire. Yeah, Jack, I agree, man. That's my concern too. No Peters has to go. Randy, I think we're all kind of to that consensus. I think the only way that Peters comes back is in a really weird situation, like Kelsey retiring and really shuffling crap up. But that's only if he would be willing to go in at left guard. I mean, I'm not going to play him at tackle. He's too old to play tackle. I still think he's got football life if he bounces inside. He might get another year or two out of his his body, but that dude was late as hell getting off the ball this year. I love JP, but he seriously is Jason false start Peters to me. Randy said Diller time. Jack said Peters said he would play on the right side, but he said that after the game.
Yeah.
What's up, Jayon? We're just talking about random stuff. Jayon, give me something like in particular you disagree with, because I've waited so long to read the comments, man. I'm out of tune with it. Tell me what you disagreed with, man. The Eagles have to get younger. Dillard is solid on the left, Trash on the right. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, man. I don't have a logical explanation to you other than it looked like he got in his own head. I think Dillard will be fine on the left. Yeah, on the left, I think he's okay. He's a rope who will get good in a year. I think he's already good. I don't think that's his problem. I think Dillard's plenty of good. I think he's a bit of a mental case. Dillard never played right tackle in his life. Randy, I understand that, man, but I'm here to tell you it's not that hard to switch from the left to the right as he was making. It's not like writing with your left hand if you're right-handed. It's not the same concept. Like, he let that get in his head. Don't get me wrong. There's some things about playing the different sides that are a little different. He probably was still going to struggle a little bit, but the way he struggled, I ain't buying that.
Yeah.
It's easy for them. Like, what's up, people? What's going on, Lone Revolver? We got some Jenkins back quotes. Yeah, and Adams isn't happy in New York no more. Yes, give Jenkins the man. He played every snap since coming here. I agree, Jack. I would bring him back. I would sign that man to another 2-3 year contract. Malcolm Jenkins should retire an Eagle, in my opinion. Cody, you want to retire him as an Eagle? I don't know how long he's going to play for. My thing is there is a point where you do have to move on.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I love Wentz, but there might come a day. You guys know, man, I've gone to bat for Wentz this season. And there will come a time where we likely will need to move on from him. It ain't going to be anytime soon, but you know what I mean? It's just the NFL. It's a business.
Wow. No, one of Jayon's new comments, I forgot about that guy. What he's talking about.
I don't know much about the new corner market, Spikes. I have to look at it, man. I got to look at that one.
Yeah.
Me and Philly Mike are talking. I think Philly Mike said he's gonna make a video on it. Did Kelsey ever get his talk like he stated he was? Whoa, hold on. Hey, Cara, what do you mean by that? I'm confused. Do you know
Me
what you
too.
mean by that? Huh?
No. Think she's doing a little bit too much of this.
I think she's referring to like a speech or something that he was supposed to give, but I don't know the context of it. Like, do you know anything about it, like the speech? And don't worry, Cara, I'm over here drinking too. So I'm not gonna get drunk though, bro. We can't be getting drunk on live streams, man. They start going sideways. All right, Jenkins the only safety that is on top of his game, minus the corners. Yeah, kind of. We need a linebacker, man. I miss Ryans.
I forgot about D'Amico Ryans, man.
That was
He
a
was
while
pretty
ago.
good. He was good
Yeah.
though. I mean, when I think of Eagles middle linebacker that I love was Jeremiah Trotter the first time.
Randy Jones, YT Higgins. YT Higgins, out of all the receivers, YT Higgins. I'm not saying you're right or wrong, man. I haven't watched. Look, guys, I really have not had an opportunity to break down film yet on these wide receivers coming out of college. So understand, everything I'm giving you is just me sitting down on a Saturday watching a football game, not analyzing it as an analyst. It's me as a fan watching it. And some of these dudes, I can like Clemson. You'll never get an impartial viewpoint from me. I'm an NC State alum, guys. I hate Clemson with a passion. So I'm not the best person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the best person for that.
But T. Higgins could probably fall to us because, like I said, in the mock drafts I seen they say T. Higgins,
his name's
Justin Jefferson.
So shit, I don't expect to move on from Carson for another. Oof. I hope so. Hey, Jayon, I hope so, man. So did you see his comment?
No, read it.
He said, "Shit, I don't expect to move on from Carson for another 12 to 15 years." I hope so, man.
Wait,
you got to take 2 and
12
he's
27
years.
27 plus 15 is
that 39? You'd be what, 39 at 12 years?
And 12, yeah. And then if you talk about 15 will be 42.
You get in that Tom Brady range.
Yeah.
Randy Jones said, "Move on from Wentz in 2050." He said, Carr said, "Hold on, what did I say? You were talking about something in relation to Jason Kelce in a speech, like some kind of talk. We didn't understand that. We didn't understand what you meant by that." The Lion, Jayon, he was a good football player, man. He really was. I forgot we even had him, man. It was so long ago. Feels like forever. Football seasons go by fast, dude. It feels like we were just doing like, for me, well, you didn't do them. That's right. You didn't start till September. It feels like I was just doing like preseason games.
Yeah, I started the day before week 1. But yeah, yo, I think making videos and making content too, it just flies by.
Oh, she's saying that Kelce was supposed to talk to the media. Are you talking in reference to if he's going to retire? Is that what you mean, Cara? I don't know, man. That would be a shocker, dude. I might need a few more beers if that happens. The Melvin Brown experience. Keith McCown, yes or no? What do you think there, man?
Does he want to play at 41?
I don't think so.
I respect that dude. I like that dude, and he is like a journeyman that's just like Ryan Fitzpatrick, but now he's older. But listen, all through Josh McCown's prime, you can compare him and Ryan Fitzpatrick almost exactly the same. A gunslinger who, if you need him to come in and win you some games, he will, and then you get your starter back.
Y'all want to hear something straight up stalker mode? I'm not going to lie that I did. I'm not going to tell you all his address. I'm not going to do that to this man. I found out through a source where Josh McCown lived outside of Charlotte. I drove by his house. I'm not going to lie. I just wanted to see his house. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice house.
That's crazy.
I'm not even going to lie. I did that. I'm pretty sure he's probably got a house up by Philly by now, though. You would think as much money as they make.
Yeah, right.
He is fast and he has good hands. So you're talking about T. Higgins? Like I said, Randy, I honestly I try to be honest about stuff, man. And I cannot be impartial about a Clemson player. Someone was on Philly Mike's stream and they were talking about Lamar Jackson. I said straightforward, man, it's hard for me to be a big fan of Lamar Jackson.
Yo, what's the score of that game now? My
I
phone
ain't
died.
say it. I ain't looked at it in a minute. But he played at Louisville, guys. I'm an NC State guy. Like he crushed us for like 4 damn years, man. I got tired of watching him run for 100 yards on NC State's defense.
Hey,
Like he was killing us. Randy Jones said he'll take CeeDee Lamb. What do you think about CeeDee Lamb?
of course, he's probably gonna be the first, but he's gonna probably be the first receiver off the board.
I think so too. I think him and then that kid from Alabama will be the next one.
Maniac Max said creepy when he talked about stalking and Josh McCown.
Hey, I walked up in his yard and started taking photos. I should have, but I didn't.
He's all like this.
You know, I know he's got kids. I wouldn't be up there like, you know what I mean, like full stalker mode, taking pictures of the man's house. Like there's a line, you know, there's a line, but I mean, look, I'm not an imposing dude. I used to work security, so I know how to get by security and police. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. You can ask my wife this, guys. I'm not kidding to y'all. I drove through a checkpoint one time in a friend's car that had expired tags, and this was back in the day, had an expired inspection sticker, right? And I didn't realize it, but my license had expired on me. Didn't even realize it. I was so calm and collected, they didn't catch any of it. That's how comfortable I am at doing that.
That's pretty cool.
And then my wife found out when we got there. She was like, dude, if that was me, I would have gone to jail. I was like, I don't know. I guess I'm just used to, you know, being in the military and working security. Like, I know that most people don't pay that close attention unless you give them a reason to be honest. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Hell, Carson has the talent. Jayon, you think he's going to play until he's 40? The only thing that scares me about Carson playing until he's 40, Jayon, is the fact that he takes a lot of hits. Like, he's not like a Tom Brady type who's getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He's more of a Brett Favre, but Brett Favre, he played until he was about 40, right?
That was the Iron Man, though.
Yeah.
He ain't never missed a game. But he's like a Big Ben. He you know, faster than Big Ben, but he want to extend the play, take hits, and get the ball down the field. That's why we got to get that vertical going. Y'all making me thirsty, bro.
Oh, you got nothing?
I mean, I was trying. Like I said, I hung out with someone I haven't seen in like 4 years, and he put me over the limit yesterday. So I'm like, I'm kind of dead still.
I'm still drinking these damn things from the wedding, bro. Still putting them things down, bro. Let's see. I've got a couple of comments here. They should have kept LJ Ford on the roster. Yeah, absolutely, guys. That was the biggest mistake I think happened all season. Well, yeah. I'll stick to that. It really was. In terms of like roster decisions in season. Before the season, we should have clearly had another speed receiver, but letting LJ Ford go was ridiculous. Let's see what we got here. I would take Seth Joyner as defensive coordinator. What do you think about that? I don't think I would put him at D coordinator.
Probably not.
I like Seth Joyner, Michael, but the thing is that he doesn't have any coordinating experience. And if you really look across the league at defensive coordinators, they're old as shit. They are. Like your offensive coordinators are young, up-and-coming dudes, but your D coordinators tend to be like these really old, established coaches.
Mm-hmm. Because when it comes down to it, defense wins championships.
Yeah. Not that Seth Joyner's a young man, but I thought I saw it after the game last week. What do you mean? Saw what, Carr? You saw me stalking his house?
She's stalking you, stalking him.
Yeah. She said she would have done it too. Mini Egg Matt, bro, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it, man. I know you're kidding. Hey, Richie Rich 22. That's the dude I was thinking of earlier when I was talking. Yeah, I can't pronounce this kid's name, but Laviska Chenault. He's a big kid from Colorado, man. He's The little bit I've seen from him, man, he's good. He's a good football player. You lost it when you saw him in the school back in the day. 14-6 at half. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I seen it.
Dan, you look down the street from Dawkins. Did you see that?
Who does?
Jayon.
Damn, that's tough.
Bro, I'll get arrested because I'll be opening that man's door knocking, trying to get an autograph. Doc, that's my all-time favorite, man.
That boy knowing how to motivate a crowd, motivate a team, heart of the city at the time.
Hello, hello. What are your opinions with our offensive coordinator candidates? All right, I'm gonna lay them out for you, man. There's two avenues we can take. I'm sorry about getting my head all up in the shot like that, guys. I was trying to sit up in the chair. You got the experience coaching route, which, guys, I think that undermines Doug Peterson. I'm a little skeptical with taking this route, but I'm not going to say the Eagles will or won't do it. So I think you can get guys like Jim Caldwell, who I think is the most experienced, probably best candidate out there. But I don't know why Jim Caldwell would come to Philly to not have play calling responsibility. Doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe
Then you
he
get,
would.
if he would, my biggest fear is what message does that send to Peterson now? Because Caldwell's not a person that you fool around with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a serious coach. But you can get like your Caldwell's guys, you can get your Marty Morningwigs, you can get your Jay Grudens, you can get your Norv Turners, all those veteran coaches. Okay. Those guys are like your veteran side. These are guys with head coaching experience. Like, those are guys I think would probably make better assistant coaches. So, like, not a coordinating job, not a position coach job. They're literally there to help Peterson with the administration part and to bring fresh eyes. Like, hey, let me see the playbook that you and your coordinator put together. Okay, let me give you some insight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that role those guys would be really good in. Put him as a coordinator, that might be a little uncomfortable. Now, the young guys, I'll be honest with you. My favorite, I would love to see Deuce Staley get the chance. If you ask me if I think that's going to happen, no. Look, guys, I would celebrate the hell out of it. I really like Deuce Staley. I don't think he's going to mesh well with Doug in that position because Deuce wants to run, Doug wants to pass. That's going to be a problem. Although I will say this, I think he's more than just a running back coach. I think he's a lot better than that. And I do think that Deuce can draw up passing plays. I think Deuce is going to get a shot eventually. I just fear it won't be in Philadelphia. Past that, James Urban would be my next pick. I like James Urban a lot. I think James Urban is a really good football coach. I think he's an up-and-comer too. Past James Urban, I would go with the kid O'Connell out of Washington. I know Brunson's not a fan of him. I know that he doesn't like him because he came out of Washington and there was such a losing mentality in that organization. But the kid can call plays. He looked pretty good in his opportunities there. And look what he did with McLaurin. And, like, I thought he looked pretty good in his opportunities. Past O'Connell, I would probably go Kafka. I'd probably go Mike Kafka at that point. So Staley, Urban, O'Connell, Kafka would be my choices. What about you, Philly Mike?
I like where you went down the line, but I wanted to ask you this question, sir. Do you think, again, it was like a tale of two seasons with Doug Peterson's play calling. With that being said, I could have sworn I heard some people, including you, said sometimes like maybe we need to get someone to call the plays and let Doug Peterson worry about head coaching, situational stuff, and all that stuff. Because calling plays take you away from some critical things you got to do. Many times they ask him about something in the press conference. He's like, I don't really know until I watch the tape. I was worried about the next play. You know what I mean? It takes you away from the actual game. So, like, it could also be if we go, like you said, the more experienced route. It's not to say that he can't have say in the play call. And listen, if you got a play caller, you're still the head coach. You can, if you feel that you want to call this certain play at this certain time, you overwrite the play caller and call your play. But if he's not calling plays, he has more time to do other things.
True. Jack, I'm going to send you I'm not sending you the link. I'm just sending you the name of the page. So this is I know you're talking about Facebook groups and how the lack of knowledge some of these Eagle fans have. Me and Philly Mike do have a joint Facebook page that we started up. I think it was like last week. So if you want to go check that out, it's me and Philly Mike. I'll put it in the comment section for you, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start doing that in my videos too, and tell people to come to that page so we can have it there.
Yeah, right now it's just a few people that I know, and like Philly Mike. So it's not like a big group yet, but we're gonna eventually grow it. We're gonna grow into a bigger group.
Yeah, bro.
Let's see. Jack says Steve going to kidnap McCown. Your guard has to be athletic and quick. Yeah, Michael, I don't disagree with that statement. It's true, especially on the Eagles system because we pull our guards a lot. We pull our guard and center a lot. But I'll be honest with you, I don't think Suamalo lacks speed. I think he's a very athletic guard. He lacks heart sometimes. He doesn't go into the block fully at times. I called him out on the Seattle video. If you go back and look at my first Seattle video I did back in like 2012, I called him out for it. I called him and I called out Dallas Goedert for rolling at defeated defenders. Randy Jones said I should have done the EAGLES chant on McCown's front lawn.
Mm-hmm.
They might have tackled me, bro. I might have became like real obvious at that point. Yeah, Carson's a physical runner, so I don't know. Yeah, I agree, man. That's what scares me too. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through some of these, but man, y'all leaving some comments, bro. Jayon, that's a good point, man. It's a good point. The Jayon said, I don't know about that. I think if he was the dude, Doug would have picked him. I just don't see Deuce getting promoted. Jayon, the thing that bothers me about Deuce Staley in that selection is that Doug seemed really lukewarm on when they questioned him about it, where he was like, well, yeah, he'll get an interview. It's not a warm endorsement.
Yeah, but check this out. What can we believe that comes out of Doug's mouth anymore these days?
That's true, bro. That's true, man.
Yeah.
If Doug said something, it's going to be the opposite.
Yo, why was he licking the water bottle like that? Like, at the end of the day, you got to understand. He got to be smart enough to understand, okay, Howie Roseman is talking at this point. But you're in the public eye still. You're not at home by yourself watching TV. Like, he's just sitting there dazed off, just doing some weird shit. And then the guy catches him and he winks at him. Like, yo, that was wild.
The former Redskins OC went to the Rams. No. Calby Axler, I knew who you're talking about, but they turned over play calling duty, I think, towards the end to O'Connell. Did O'Connell sign with the Rams? Because there was another dude that was calling the plays. Let me check that out. Because that would suck, man, because I like O'Connell a lot, man. He would have been a good pick. Damn, you're right, bro. He did. Well, that one's gone. Kevin O'Connell did sign with the Rams. Cowboys X Factor, bro. Good report, bro. Good report. I'm going to throw you up here, man, so y'all can see. He's right. I just verified it. He's right.
My man got Mike McCarthy on there early.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Richie Rich. What I think would be really funny about Norv Turner coming to Philadelphia is I think his son is coaching in Washington as the OC. Father versus son, bro. That would be an interesting combo.
John said, shit, I don't see Deuce moving up. Doug was on that Colorado stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Cowboys X Factor. What y'all talking about? Weapon X, Brian Dawkins. So I was catching a little shit in the comments because I admitted that I drove by Josh McCown. Someone gave me Josh McCown's address out by Charlotte. It was out in the Charlotte area, North Carolina. So I was like, man, I want to go check out this man's house. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I drove by his house. But then someone else was telling us they lived down the street from Dawkins in Colorado. So they were telling us about how like Dawkins went to their high school and stuff and like talked to the students and stuff like that.
That's tough.
Maniac Matt said he likes older D coordinators. They've seen just about everything you can throw at them, and most times they chew up young quarterbacks. Point. Point, man, for real. Good point. Yeah, man, the run will carry you in the playoffs, Cowboys X Factor.
Where are you seeing that comment?
Bro, it's way up, man. It's way up there. Do you see cars, by the way? Facts. I wear camouflage while I stalk people.
I didn't see that. Damn, you're back like 10
Bro,
minutes
there's
ago.
so many damn comments, man. I'm trying to find people's and like, especially if I'm seeing people posting for the first time. Like,
yeah. That's why you got to hit that speed round. You're like, brrr.
Yeah, bro. Hey, is Dak from Jacksonville, Jason? For real? I didn't know that. No Marty Ball. Randy Jones. Dallas going to play some Marty Ball, buddy. It won't look. While he's coming out of the Marty Schottenheimer coaching tree, it's not like he's going to be that predictable where you're going to see McCarthy go run, pass. Okay, next possession, run, pass. Like, he also picked up some tools and tricks from the West Coast offense too, because he did spend a year with Mike Holmgren. So, he's got that side to him as well. Like, he'll be a little more than that. Plus, you do still have Kellen Moore there. So Kellen Moore, he's not going to call your plays anymore, but he'll have input into the playbook. So, but you'll definitely be a little more run-centered than you were this past season, I'll say. Fun fact, my ex has B-Dog's rookie card. Oof. Maniac Matt, he said off topic, does anyone think that Doug is too much of a player coach? And because of this, he doesn't have contact at practice, and this is the cause of some of the injuries. That's a hard one, dude. I don't know that I buy into the contact preventing injuries argument. But at the same time, there is a certain level of conditioning you have to reach. So I do think you could have a point about the overall conditioning being lacking, if that makes sense, Maniac Matt. So maybe his overall conditioning and the way that he's running the football team is causing some of these injuries. Does that make sense to you, Philly Mike, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you got to remember, Maniac Matt, you can't practice players. It's not just Doug Peterson. The actual Players Association restricts how many times you can have like padded drills during the regular playing year. So there's a lot of rules around this stuff. They cut how many hours you can practice, all kinds of stuff, man. That's why they said that the league is becoming so specialized, because you don't have time to cross-train a lot of players. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, guys. I'm not out there on the practice field training these guys, but that's what I'm hearing. Jack, you're right, bro. I think you're 100% right, man. I think Deuce needs to leave to advance his career. Unfortunately, I think you're right. That's going to hurt, man. I like Deuce a lot, man, but I think he's got to go to move on and get that next position. He signed with the Rams. Jason Wall. We ran the ball 28 times a game this year, 7th most in the league. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Me neither.
B-Doc got a fat crib. I would imagine, man. I mean, dude made some money. He went to Rainy High in Jacksonville. Okay. I'm not that familiar with Florida football, to be honest with you guys. Like, I got family that lives down on the Gulf side of Florida, so they're down by they're out past like Gainesville in that area, Ocala. They're out by like Ocala. So it's in the middle of nowhere. I've been there a few times. I would never want to break down out in that damn place. There's nothing around there. Dallas fans better make sure they can field a team next season. McCarthy might eat the entire roster.
Yeah, I read that.
It's mean, bro.
It's funny, though.
It is. No food. All right, Tyreek Mullins, we need speed. 100%, buddy. That is priority number one for me.
Yep. No more possession guys and all that, because we got J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. If he can never learn how to run routes and progress, he's that guy. Plus, both our tight ends are guys who can go across the middle, score in the red zone, get that 50-50 ball, and eat like that. We need speed. Speed around Goddard, Ertz, and just it. Speed.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cody, the one thing I will say about Doug's play calling in the past 2 years, there's like, number one, I have no clue what the hell Groh did. I cannot explain it to you. I don't know. I've heard so many conflicting reports. My understanding is like most offensive coordinators that do not call plays, the one thing he is responsible for would be the 2-minute drill. So he's calling the 2-minute offense. However, if you're devolving power to Carson Wentz, and now Carson Wentz is making the calls at the line in a 2-minute, what the hell is he doing? I don't know. Because, I mean, let's be real. The 2-minute offense is your hurry up. That's that quick timing and rhythm. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell he does. What he did, because he's not with us no more. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me your opinion on him. Guys, I didn't think that all the things that happened were Groh's fault, but I was not, like, in love with that guy being the offensive coordinator. I don't think he offered enough. I mean, my thing is if you look at someone, can you improve? Come on, you mean tell me we can't find a better offensive coordinator than Groh? Of course we can improve that. What do you guys think about the dynamic? I know, guys, you guys have no clue how much Philly Mike got to calm me down sometimes, bro. After that press conference, man, I had to talk to Philly Mike. It was like 2-3 hours we were talking, dude, because, yo, if I would have made that video right after I saw everything that went on in the press conference, yo, that would have been a bad video because I was pissed. I was so pissed about what Doug said in the press conference and the way the shit, turned out afterwards. So we were talking back and forth, and he can tell you, man, I was mad as hell about what happened.
You were.
It was a weird dynamic, guys. I thought for the longest time that we had this great relationship between Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. And then that shit happened. It was like, were we deceived? Is their relationship that good? I mean, me and Philly Mike were going back and forth a little bit on it. We were, neither of us really had like definitive statements or opinions on it, but both of us were kind of like unsure about what the hell was happening. To where we were like, yo, I mean, did Lurie make the decision? Did Doug make the decision? Then it just became obvious. Like, man, you made that decision 24 hours after you said some crazy shit. Like, that's the owner. That's the owner telling you how it's going to be. I don't know, man. How y'all feel about that? How do you guys feel about Jeffrey Lurie stepping in and telling Doug? Like, I think it was the right decision to let those guys go. I'm just not comfortable with the owner doing that. Or if you're going to do it, at least give Doug, like, let him save face and don't do it right away.
Yeah, right.
Let that shit fly for a week.
Right. Then it looks like Doug really went back and reevaluated because he did end it with saying, guys, it's day 3 into the offseason. I gotta evaluate my staff. I know what I said, but it is what it is. And then maybe a week later he finds his way. But it's like that fast. As soon as they left that press conference, Howie and Lurie was like this. Listen, it's either you or them. He's like, all right, I'll get it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So Jayon said when Carson gets a healthy team around him, we would be watching the Birds in late January. I agree, man. I'm going to tell you this, guys. Depending, look, there's so much that can happen in free agency. I will say this. I think Mike McCarthy is at least a respectable coach for Dallas. He's not, I don't put him on the level of a Doug Peterson. I don't think he's anywhere near that category, but he's a huge upgrade over Jason Garrett. Like, there's no doubt about that in my mind. The team that I worry about 3 or 4 years down the road, though, is Washington if Snyder does not get involved. If Ron Rivera is allowed to run the Redskins, they're going to become competitive, in my opinion.
I like Ron.
Yeah. It's going to take some years. I mean, they're not going to be competitive next year. I doubt that. I mean, they might be a little more competitive than they've been in the past just because they'll be coached solidly, but I think there's still a lack of talent, overall talent. They got some defensive players, though. They need that secondary upgraded. They might have them and the Giants might be the only 2 teams I can think of that got worse secondaries than us.
Yeah. Josh Norman, it was my God. He had that one good year in Carolina. He's trash.
Yeah,
He's trash.
Norman cashed in, bro.
He did. He got
in on Washington, bro. They made the same mistake they made with Haynesworth with Norman.
yeah.
They'll never learn, bro. Snyder never learns.
Haynesworth was good at one time, but not for the Redskins.
Oh, he was crap for the Redskins, man. But I will admit, I wanted Haynesworth too that year.
Me too.
I won't lie. All right, Maniac Matt asked us. He said, "Do you guys think we should draft?" Not you guys. Maniac Matt. I don't draft crap. just be clear.
Draft our fantasy leagues. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it, man. Corners or receivers first. Although this draft year does seem to be a receivers draft overall. Best available, man. Best available between the positions we need. I think we need help at the offensive line. I think we need help at wide receiver. I think we need help at corner. I think we could use a linebacker.
Yeah, but corner wide receivers it's got to be the priority for number one.
I think the Eagles need to make a very solid board. You got 10 picks. Go get your guy. You got 10 picks. Go get your guy. Simple as that to me. Even if you only walk out of this draft with 6 guys, if you get 6 quality guys, you did good.
Yeah, 6 quality guys is better than 10 flyers.
Yeah. Even if half of them work out, even if you can pull off 3, you know what I'm saying? If they're at wide receiver and corner, you're already doing good. You can find a linebacker in that mix, man. Shit, you'd be over the moon, bro.
Yeah, I want to answer one thing. Tariq Mullins, he said you can't fire a staff member on a press conference, bro. He had to say that. And what I want to say to that is that great. You can't come out and say that they're going to be 100% going in the staff meeting. That's kind of disrespectful. But what you can do is keep it vague. He could have said, as soon as he said, Mike Groh and Carson Walsh did a fantastic job down the stretch getting these practice squad players able to go like regular receivers. With that being said, I'm taking all that into consideration when I evaluate my staff, which is still ongoing. That would have said a good thing about them, would have said you're still evaluating, and you can get the job done. But when you say they will be back next year, tick-tock the clock, they are fired.
Yeah.
That looks bad. And what other looks bad is when you're just days licking on a water bottle in public.
Bro, that was crazy, man.
In public.
My man had a water bottle he was putting on chapstick.
He was, yes. And then he was just doing that. And the thing is, like, I know he's not talking, but you're in a room filled with reporters with cameras and microphones. What are you doing?
Tariq Mullins, this is what I'll say, man. Number one, I made a video on this. If you go back and you look at my channel, you'll see I made a video. I think it was yesterday. I did like a big breakdown on this. Now, this is what I'll say. In my opinion, man, I've worked in the military. I did specific types of jobs where I had to really pay attention to manipulation. I worked security, where I used to manage security services for a really large hotel in Raleigh. I dealt with a lot of people trying to manipulate, trying to get their way up into the rooms, trying to break policy and rules, dealing with internal theft. Like, I know when I'm being manipulated. I used to work hand in hand with an organization to help them craft the wording of certain things to manipulate or spin the narrative on things. To me, when you look at what Doug Peterson did with the whole Mike Groh comment and what he made with the Carson Welch comment, he offered up names that weren't necessary, and he clearly tried to create a narrative around them to paint them in a favorable light with the media. So that way the media wouldn't shit on them directly after that and start getting the fan base riled up for the, immediate firing of these guys. It backfired because I think he would have got away with it, except for one thing. Howie Roseman screwed up a question. You guys look at my video, I told you guys. That question that was asked to Howie Roseman about Jim Schwartz was 100% a front office question. That was not a question that a coach handles. He was not asking them about whether or not Jim Schwartz would be back on Doug Peterson's staff. I mean, that seemed like a no duh. He asked him if he is offered a position that is not a head coach, whether the media is asking him, would they block him? Because they've done that before with the quarterback coach. So it was a legitimate question. And then I guess, I don't know, I guess Howie Roseman didn't understand the question. And like what a hot potato was like, here, Doug. And then Doug was like, well, we think he's doing a good job. We wish our coaches the best. And then he said the dumbass plane comment, which really set everybody off. That stuff could have been so avoided. All that had to be said was this: "Hey guys, we're still evaluating. We're still evaluating everything." That's all that needed to be said. Why set yourself up for this unless you're aiming for something? He was clearly aiming to try to protect the jobs of Walsh and of Groh, and it backfired. It backfired big time. But I do think the organization did him dirty by cutting those guys 24 hours later. That was horseshit. That shouldn't have happened. That really made us look bad, man. What do you think about that, man? What do you think about not even so much that what Doug said, but the way the fallout occurred afterwards?
It just puts a lot of things in question. Just like you said, is it more of a Howie Roseman, Lurie telling him what to do? I thought Doug was one of them coaches that were like after the Super Bowl had the support to be like how Andy Reid is or how Bill, but not exactly like them. But they run it. Whatever Doug wants to do, he gets to say. Like if he says, Lurie, this is my guy, we want to keep him. No, Lurie's going to go with it because they put total trust in Doug. Doesn't seem like that with him coming out and saying he got to learn how to talk a little bit better, because I'm not a professional talker, but all you had to do was say it's an ongoing evaluation. I do think he did a good job, though.
Exactly. That would have been completely acceptable. Or even if he kept the same momentum going with Schwartz, it would have been okay. If he said, look, I think Schwartz did an excellent job. I would love to have Schwartz back here as well. Then maybe it still would look really weird 24 hours later, but it wouldn't look as weird when you're contrasting it with the way you talked about. And then you meet with the owner, and then the ball comes down. The hammer comes down, I should say. Like, that shit looked weird, man. This is what I will say. I've seen a few of the comments. Eddie, I would encourage you to go back and watch more film on Hassan Ridgeway. He's better than you're giving credit for. Hassan Ridgeway, from what I saw on film, man, I watch a lot of film, man. He did his thing before he got injured, man. He was really good. Jack Hainsworth was awesome with the Titans, man, but he was a wash with Washington, man. Touchdown Titans. Yeah, bro, the Titans are doing their thing, bro. The worst thing about that, man, Steven, is that I got friends that are Titan fans. They're going to give me all kinds of shit. I'm going to have to deal with them for the next week, man. Maniac Matt, you think I'll give them too much credit with 6? I don't mean 6 like legitimate stars, man. I just mean like 6 serviceable guys. Guys that literally play like an active, role in the roster. Not necessarily like 6 guys that are going to be studs by any stretch of the imagination. That makes sense, man. But yeah, bro, like, I'll take it, man. If they hit on 3 or 4 of those guys, I'll take it. That's not a bad draft.
Back.
Deuce Volt. If you haven't noticed, Doug is not good at pressers. Yeah, bro, I noticed. I definitely noticed, man.
Word.
I'll say this, Deuce Volt. I never thought Doug would shit the bed as he shit the bed on that pressure, though, man. That was bad, dude. That was just really bad.
Wait, I want to just say one thing where Tariq Mullen says, "Come on, guys, LOL. Come on, guys. We overthinking this. We not falling apart. We will be okay." I think the bigger problem is players and player positions. I agree. My whole thing was, see, when Gate City said that he was so pissed off and we were talking about it back and forth. Yes, as I agree with Gate City that he mishandled it. It was horrible how he did it. I don't think it's as big of a deal as Gate City is. I was trying to calm him down the same way you're saying, like, yeah, at the end of the day, okay, if Lurie did step in, I don't believe he's going to step in and say, now I'm controlling everything you do. He just wanted to control this one situation, and that's it. He's going to let Doug do what Doug does still. I believe it's just going to be brushed off like that. But he could have definitely handled it better. So I did agree with Gate City on that thing. But I was trying to tell Gate City, look, we're going to be all right. Doug's still going to do his stuff. It's not as big of a deal. But Gate City was very upset.
I was pissed. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was pissed, man. I was pissed because of the way it makes us look. And, like, look, guys, when I look at it personally, I can overlook it as long as the relationship is fine. I can overlook it. But I know the media, and I knew damn right well what was going to happen in the media for the next week. I knew they were going to feed on this story. And that shit drives wedges between people, man. They're good at that stuff. They're professionals at doing that exact thing. Driving a wedge and creating mountains out of molehills. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw that come down the line, guys, I was like, man, this is not good. Like, man, I knew what Doug was trying to do. I knew what he was trying to do. But it was like, Doug, you're not skilled enough to do this. Like, this is not your strength, dude. I agree with everything Philly Mike said about how he should have handled it. Decisions aren't done. I love these two guys. I personally would love them have them back, but it's a group effort. It's a group thing. Like, state your public support for the guys, but don't go as far as saying, "Oh yeah, they're back." Like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing to us? The thing that surprised me is when I was asked, if you guys go back and look at my videos, I was asked by somebody. They were like, "Yo, do you think Grove's coming back?" And I said, I don't think he should come back, but I would say it's 60-40 that he does come back. I've told you there was no way in hell that Carson Walch was coming back. Film don't lie.
But you know what's
Film
funny?
don't lie.
You know what's funny? You said there's no way Carson Welch is coming back, and as you're putting, yeah, because you pretty much said this like as this press conference was going on, or like that same day. So like people watching your video is like, there's no way Carson Welch is going to be there. And they're all probably like, yeah, he is. Then 24 hours later, bang. And the funny thing is, I commented on one of your video where D Block is, and I said this 4 hours before they got fired. So it's not like I knew they were going to get fired. I said, listen, the way Doug Peterson retracted his statement after being asked about Jim Schwartz, I do believe, I don't care what he said about them staying, I think they're still going to be fired. And I said that on your comment, on D Block's comment, and then 4 hours later, schwang. See ya.
I thought it would be absurd if Carson Welch kept his job. If that dude keeps his job, I want an application to the Eagles right now. Because I know Doug Peterson will have my back for a good 10 years.
Forever, ever.
Like, dude, if anyone ever deserved to be fired in the league, it was that dude. That dude was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, did it make us look bad or did it make the USA look? Because, bro, that was a shit show of a press conference, man. I don't even understand. Like, I still stick with what Philly Mike said, which was, Philly Mike was like, why even have the press conference right then and there? Wait until you talk together before you do that. Like, bro, oh my God, man. It was just not a good look for us that day. It wasn't. And I got to give Philly Mike credit, bro. Y'all don't know, man. Philly Mike is the Dr. Dre to the Eminem for me, guys. He kibosh his shit before I jump on a live stream, before I jump on a video and say some shit. He cut that shit off. I'm like, nah, you can't do that, Steve.
And you still gave it to him, though, in your video.
I did. Y'all saw how much I gave it to him, and just think, I toned it down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, luckily, I let it go for a little while before I posted, before I made the video.
Cool down, right?
Yeah, because I was like, yo, like, I can't believe this is happening, man.
Schedule.
Jason Wall, that's an interesting comment. Grove's expendable. Carson made our whole team look bad as fuck. In the good way, guys. The good way. Yeah. Here's my real question, Jason. Did Press Taylor turn around Carson Wentz, or was Carson Wentz so talented he figured it out on his own? That's what I really want to know. I think that's the bigger thing, man. 28-6 Titans, bro. That game came out
28-6.
Yeah, man.
Bro, and you know the Titans beat the Chiefs the Titans beat the Chiefs in a pretty high scoring game. Like, yo, if the Titans was somehow slip into the Super Bowl, like, you know what was funny? In like 5th grade, me and my one friend who I still talk to today, he's a Titan fan, right? He's loving it right now. But listen, so I think when I was in 5th grade, the Tennessee Titans were going to go against the Oakland Raiders in the AFC Championship, and the Philadelphia Eagles were going against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the NFC Championship. And me and
Yeah.
him were so hyped. We already made our little fifth grader bets and stuff on who's going to win the Super Bowl, Eagles and the Titans. The Raiders smacked them, and the Bucs smacked us. It was just horrible.
Yeah, Tyreek, I do agree with your overall point that we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine as long as Doug Peterson gets to legitimately pick his coordinator, the guy he wants, and it doesn't drive a wedge there. We'll be okay. I mean, the overall execution was horrible. The decisions were the right decisions. Like, you had to let Groh go. You had to let Carson Wentz go. Like, they weren't good. They just weren't good at their jobs. Like, I'd still be worrying about Carson Wentz going to try to find my house where I put his ass on blast on film this year. I came after him hard, guys, because he was just garbage, man. And I always feel bad for saying shit because people got families. I don't want their kids to be watching, be like, man, Dad, this dude, he's dookie on you. But man, he was hard to watch, man. His coaching was just not good.
Yo,
It ain't the fourth quarter yet.
yo, yeah, that's bad.
That's really bad, man. I think was it you and I that were talking and you were asking me about my picks and I said I thought the Titans might be a sneaky one?
Yep. Yo, Derrick Henry is a grown man. That boy is a monster.
What a turnaround, man.
Yep.
They thought he was dead in the water before
They were going to trade him. They were going to trade him last year.
Yeah. Damn, could you imagine if we picked up Eddie George? Or not Eddie George. That would be ribs. Damn. He's like 50.
Yeah.
If we, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you meant
that. Miles Sanders. Damn, bro.
That's yo, and the thing is, Derrick Henry is pretty fast for his size. That boy got feet.
They were showing. Did you ever see that thing where they were showing the high school film of Derrick Henry and what he was doing in high school?
He was like the greatest high school running back ever. He was
just... dude. Can you imagine? Like, man, I mean, I've had some moments when I played football. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. If someone Derrick Henry's size was running 4.4 and running at me, bro, I'm gonna accidentally fall. There's no way
I'm faking injury. I'm pulling a hand. I'm faking an hammy and falling down.
Exactly.
Jason Wall said he called the Titans too. My boy's a Titan fan. He's hype right now.
I know, man. I got a bunch of friends that are Titan fans. I'm gonna catch all kinds of shit, man.
I know. For some reason he hates the Eagles too. Like that's where we get low. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason for you to hate the Eagles. You're in the AFC. You're a Titans fan. Like, get up off us.
Yeah, Jason Wall. You know what's crazy though, man, is that Press Taylor's like highly respected around the league. People like him, man. I mean, when I look on film, it's hard. I told Philly Mike this earlier. We were talking. I said, I was watching some games from earlier in the season, preparing for some videos I got coming up. And I was like, damn, there is a big turnaround from Carson Wentz from week 1. So you get to those last 4 or 5 weeks of the season. Like, I mean, there was some serious development, but I don't know. I just don't know that I feel comfortable saying Press Taylor's responsible for it. I don't know what you think, man.
Yeah, I mean, Press Taylor he was getting consideration to be our new OC, right?
From what I heard, that would be a Doug move, bro.
No more. Listen, if you're going to promote anybody from inside, I will just do Staley just because of the loyalty and runner, But I want fresh eyes on the situation.
Young Jay. No outside-minded. I'm sorry. I think Doug needs an outside-minded coach, not from inside.
Same
Young
thing.
Jay, would you extend that? See, here's my thing. I agree with that except for one coach. Not that I expect this to happen. I would co-sign on Deuce Staley. I think Deuce Staley is a great coach. I just don't think Doug Peterson views him like that.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the problem. I think it's a lack of opportunity, not that he couldn't excel in the position.
A lot of people I think like Deuce Staley for it too. I would co-sign it too because listen, two videos ago I made that video of about the OC and whatnot. I said the Tim McManus report, which is O'Connell and Jim Caldwell, And I said, at the end of the video, leave a comment. Let me know who you think. I just threw out these guys like Jay Gruden, Turner, Romo. I just anybody just to get the conversation started.
Whatever, really.
Yeah, but I said the two that Tim McManus reported, and everybody was like, "Yo, what about Deuce? Why you want Deuce? Why you want Deuce?" I had to clarify to everybody in the comments, like, I'm going off the Tim McManus report, and I would take Deuce. I just don't see it because I would have took Deuce before Mike Grove. If it didn't happen then, why would it happen now? You know what I'm saying?
So, hey, Jason Wall, I just caught your comment, man. Are you saying? Are you trying to say that Josh McCown looks like Ivan Drago?
I saw a meme. I saw a meme on that today.
Jason, he said he called the Titans. I did too, man. I thought they were a good football team. I thought they were getting hot at the right time. That's important. Henry is a whole Mack truck, bro. I wish the Titans would have gotten over their heads and traded him right to Philly. I would have taken him in a minute. All right, y'all. While you guys are here, I think we got like 18, 20 y'all. Keeps kind of going back and forth. Obviously, I know you Dallas fans are going to troll me, and you guys are going to say Jason Garrett. Y'all let me know in the comments. Let us know. Who would you guys take as your OC? Who's your number one? Give me your number one. Number one for OC. I don't know, Young G. You think that Deuce is a yes guy? I don't get that vibe from him. He could be right. I mean, I don't know the dude personally, but then again, man, we've had the a-hole characters, and they didn't work out so well. Because, bro, I thought Groh was a complete a-hole at press. What'd you feel about
who?
Groh in the press conferences? What did you think? How did you think about him?
Doug Jr.
He was kind of condescending, man.
Yeah. You hear how that one press conference where he was like sticking up for Nelson Aguilar so much. Like after one game where he really struggled, he was like sticking up. But Stephen Joyce said he just sent us requested a Python Audible, and I just accepted you, bro.
Appreciate you, Stephen Joyce, man. All right, so we got Caldwell. Randy Jones, I like Caldwell, man. I do like Caldwell. I think he's the best candidate out there. I just fear what that dynamic would be with Doug Peterson. I also fear, would Doug ever really allow him to call plays? I don't know how interested Caldwell would be. But I would definitely, man, I'd sign on to that. Absolutely. He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Look, Jim Caldwell was the coach at Wake Forest, believe it or not, in the 90s. Which Wake Forest University is in Winston-Salem. It's where I used to teach. I used to teach on the south side of Winston. It's about 30, 40 minutes from me.
Eddie or
Cara, how much have you had to drink, sweetheart?
That's funny.
If McCown goes missing, we better check Cara's house, bro.
Word.
If she ain't got him, then I might have kidnapped him. I ain't gonna lie. All right, let's see. Young J, my bad, man. He said Caldwell as well.
Yeah.
Grow needs to catch these hands. Okay, Eddie Ortiz said he would go for Mike Kafka. Former Eagle draft pick, by the way.
Yeah, 4th round. Yeah. Mike Kafka. I talked about him in the video too.
Because it's been a long time, man, since we said that name.
2010.
Yeah.
And in that video that I talked about Jim Caldwell and O'Connell, I mentioned Mike Kafka too. I told him that 4th round draft pick, 2010. Pretty good up and coming coach. I mean, he got Patrick Mahomes. What more do you got to do really with Patrick over there? But anybody from the Andy Reid tree is good via Doug Peterson. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, because Philly 500 came on my live stream and was spitting out Mike Kafka a lot.
Okay. Stephen Joyce sent us a request too. So, Stephen, I'll accept your request, buddy. She's like,
I already did.
Let's see. Cara says she's gonna steal Sean McVay. Nah, he's okay.
I don't think she's talking about PlayCon. I think she's talking about like she likes him.
Randy, I hope he's that mature, man. But some of these dudes got, man, they got that pride, man. You heard a dude's pride. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to come back from sometimes. That's the same thing I'm saying, Randy's. I hope it doesn't turn into a pissing contest because neither of those two are going to win, and we're all going to lose. As an organization, we're going to end up losing if that happens. Jason Wall said Wentz for the NFL's first QB/OC. Carson, there was I can't remember who she was. There was a girl here from France earlier. I don't remember her name though.
Beatrice. Got that memory for days.
Good memory, man. Which is pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. First time I think I had someone coming in from outside the States.
Somebody commented on my thing from Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Word.
Oh, damn, we really are a worldwide brand.
But
it's crazy. When I went overseas, man, like a lot of people didn't this was quite a few years ago, but a lot of people didn't really know shit about American football. To be real about it. Yeah, Randy, I really am I'm scared about that, man. I don't want them to get into a pissing contest. It's just ridiculous. I don't know, man. It's hard to tell behind the scenes what goes on. I mean, they might be cool, and we could just be misreading it. We don't know the exact conversation. You know what I'm saying? Lori could have called Doug in and be like, "Yo, Doug, I appreciate what you tried to do for your people, bro, but come on, man. You and I both know they got to go." So, hopefully, it was something along those lines. Man, what do y'all think about wide receiver coach? I didn't even look into that yet. The only person I even said was Josh McCown. I would take McCown as my wide receiver coach. McCown already did a pretty damn good job there.
Yeah, I don't really have any. Other than him, I don't really have any jumping off the page. You just gotta get at the end, just get a good retired receiver.
She said you had an Australian earlier.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Damn. He has 157 yards.
We both said damn at the same time. That's wild. Yo, if this man runs like that, if they can again, they beat the Baltimore Ravens. And then they say the Chiefs beat the Texans. I'm gonna say the Chiefs. And then if they can get into a small lead on the Chiefs, man, they're gonna run their way to the bowl. Dude. He is a grown man.
But that's crazy, man.
I'm mad I'm not watching this game. I'm about to.
Oof. Jack Matter said Terrell Owens for wide receiver coach. Oof. And it's because of talent. I think he knows how to play the position quite well, but.
Yo, that whole Donovan McNabb and Terrell Owens shit broke my heart.
Dude, that was the worst,
man. You know what they could have been, though? They were dirty together.
Oh, Keenan McCardell for receiver coach, Randy Jones. I like that, man. McCardell was he was a tactician at the position, man. No doubt about it. Doesn't T.O. hate us now? I don't know about that. I think T.O. would take any damn job that the league gave him, to be real.
Yeah, but do you see a lot of people keep talking about Hall of Famers, like Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. Do you really think they want to come out of their their luxurious life to come coach? That's where I start to say I would love any Hall of Famer receiver to coach that position. Of course, I would love that, but it's these guys are chilling, living the life.
I'm not even going to read that comment, bro.
I saw it too. Wow.
Jason, did you read Jason's comment? He said Carson before the snap, kill. All of Philly, when we see Clowney, kill.
Yeah, audible to kill every time we see.
He does that a lot. Guys, I'm going to have some videos coming up where I'm going to really break down those pre-snap reads and what he's doing when he does that. Kill has a certain meaning, guys. There's a reason why he's killing a play. To give you guys a clue, it really starts with your Mike linebacker. They're reading the mic.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see a lot of times you will hear them call out Mike.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mic check. They're not mic checking. They're mic checking for real. They're checking that Mike linebacker.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. You got to know where your mic is. If you don't know where your mic is, then you don't know your progressions. I'm going to go into a little bit more about playing quarterback, guys, and I'll talk to you guys about like how we make those pre-reads, why we make those calls. And by the way, the quarterback doesn't always do them. Sometimes it's your center.
Yeah, the center could do it,
Yeah.
which Jason Kelsey's good at.
Ooh. Jack said Brett Favre for OC. I don't think he has any interest in coaching the game, but man, I would love to see Brett Favre as the QB coach. The one guy who never took advice from anybody giving advice.
Yeah. He was a gunslinger, just didn't care.
Sandeep, that's funny, bro. I saw that. AB for wide receiver coach. Man played a Super Bowl with a broken leg. He did do that, bro.
Yo, the T.O. was, man, that was a rough. I was 15 years old at Super Bowl.
What did he do recently, guys?
Who?
AB, what the hell did he? I saw something the other day about him. Did he do something stupid again?
When did he ever not?
True, but I heard that I don't know, man. I heard the allegations got way more serious, I guess, over the past couple of days. Did someone finally like file an actual like a criminal complaint against him?
I don't even know.
That dude, man, I pray for him, bro. And I don't even pray. That tells you. So, I don't know, man. Oh no, Jack. I don't doubt that he knows offense. It's not his knack though. When he was in the league, is that man did not listen to his quarterback coaches. Listen to Andy Reid talk about him, bro. Andy Reid said he was a very frustrating player.
Dang, what's it called? John or Nelson, whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He said he was only 5. What'd you say? Jayon. Yeah, Jayon said he was 5. He was 5 when the
Super Bowl?
When the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in 2004, he was 5.
Damn.
So
Jayon, you young, bro.
99 you were born?
Damn, dude. Yeah, you definitely young.
Damn.
Well, no, I guess you're not that young, man. You're damn near drinking age.
Yeah, he'd be. What is he? He'll be 20. He'll be like 21.
Yeah, he's damn near drinking age. So, I mean,
yeah, I was 15. So,
Jack, I might have to check that out, man. It's been a long time since I watched anything like that. I'd actually like to see Gruden and Favre arguing. That hell to me. Kara, you were 13. And so 2004, damn, I was in the military. So I was like
23.
Was I really?
You're 36 now, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head. Hold up. I graduated in 2001.
22 then.
In 01. 2, 3.
21.
I was 21.
That means Kara's probably right around the same age as me. She was 13, so she got to be like 26 now.
Jayon's 21. Yeah, so you're about the age now that I was when the Eagles were playing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I don't cry about much. I cried, bro, when they got to
I cried, bro.
I broke down crying.
And I still remember it. Donovan McNabb, he's throwing up. He gets, he plays the game. He throws the ball to L.J. Smith. Remember him, the tight end, L.J. Smith? It goes right through his hands, and then Ronnie Harrison just mother.
Yeah. Damn, Eddie Ortiz said he was 3.
Dang.
Yeah, he was definitely a young buck, man.
You didn't even your family might have been watching the game, but you weren't paying attention to it. You were playing with your Legos or something. Yeah. That's good.
He said, "Love me some course."
Oh wow, Kara's 28.
bro. Y'all still young, man. Better enjoy it. Y'all not over 30 yet. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
LJ,
You're on that awkward age though, guys. I remember that, bro. That's an awkward age, man, because you're starting to get a little too old for the club scene, but at the same time, like you're not that old to where you know what I'm saying. Like that's an awkward age, man. I remember that.
yeah, like I said, I went out with my boy I haven't seen in a long time, and
Yeah.
I regretted it. I was hurt all day. Like I wanted to go live earlier, and I'm just like, can't get out of bed.
Damn, Randy, you got me beat, buddy. You got me beat by a couple of years.
Yeah, 24. So
Good. I'm
dang.
not the oldest head up in here.
And Randy Jones be keeping it funky. I was thinking he was like in his 30s, the way he be commenting.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, he
like
probably
that.
still is. What, Randy? What are you? 3 years older than me, man? Yeah. So he's like
39,
39.
yeah.
Yeah.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
Shit, I remember watching the planes hit, bro. Man, I was old enough to watch all that crap.
Who?
The World Trade Center. I was old enough to watch all that shit.
I was in I want to say 6th or 7th grade when that happened, and they put it on the TVs and everything in school. I was in school though when it happened.
Carter said, "Nah, I still get carded. I work at a liquor store." Carter, on the real, I'm not even kidding. Since I was 18, I shouldn't tell someone who works at the liquor store this. I swear to God, I used to be able to walk into the AB store in Virginia down by Newport News. There was one right off of Warwick Highway. I still wasn't 21. I was like somewhere between 18 and 20. I used to walk in and out of there all the time without being carded. I used to make a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody be like, yo, Steve, can you hook us up?
Yeah, Jack Madner, he's about the same age as me too.
Jayon, I used to be a teacher, man. I still coach a little, and I still do teach some, but I'm not a full-time teacher anymore. But when I used to tell my kids, like there's certain moments like where you'll remember where the rest of your life. I said, for me, 9/11, man, I will always remember exactly where I was standing when it happened. Like it was just something like, it's hard for them. Like the kids I was teaching, like they weren't even born then. They still weren't even born.
I know, that's crazy.
That's crazy that they're not even old enough to have witnessed that.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw something come out the other day. Like I guess like the kids that were born. Actually, I don't remember. Whatever. But yes, it's funny that some of these kids are gonna be learning this as history. Like in that it's gonna be history to them, not like something that they lived by. They had to learn about it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Car, you're all the way out in the western part of Virginia. You're out by Blacksburg, I take it. Yeah, I didn't cry, but I was in shock, Jayon. I was just shocked, man. I didn't know.
Yeah, I had one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was one of them, not crying like blah blah blah, but one of them like tears drop down. You trying, and that was wild. It was rough.
Damn, that's cool, bro. Gregory, that's pretty cool, man. Did you see Gregory's comment?
Yeah, man, oh wow.
You were stationed in Hawaii, bro. That's lucky, man. You were lucky as hell. I was stationed in Norfolk, dude. It was not quite as cool.
Randy Jones said my oldest daughter was 1 during 9/11. Crazy. She's 19 now. Yeah. That's crazy.
Man, time goes by fast, man.
Like that. Yeah.
I was talking to my wife the other day, and I told her, man, I still like. There's times where like, I remember my parents. Like when I think about my parents being my age, like they seem so old to me.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like, I remember my mom turning 30 when we moved to North Carolina from Delaware. And I'm like, I'm like 6 years older than that now, and I don't act anywhere near like they do.
Yeah, like look, it's funny. This is how I envision. Like when I was little, this is how I envisioned my parents. Like boring newspaper, straightforward, all that stuff. Now I'm getting close to that age, and I'm just like, No.
Jack, you work on McGuire Air Force Base? It's cool, man.
How much time is left in that game, Randy Jones? My phone's charging.
I know, man. ESPN keeps messing with me, man. Every time I try to pull it up.
My phone was dead, but now it's not no more. So I should have been watching the game while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, once you pass that 25-year-old mark, you're just like,
ain't nothing to really look forward to after that, man.
Yep, it's all downhill. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, your insurance goes down. That's about the best part.
Yeah, right. So let me ask y'all this. Does anybody think that the Baltimore Ravens will come back in the last 11 minutes and shock the world and beat the Tennessee Titans and take everything from them?
Hell no.
I heard this though. When they went down 14-0, it came up on my phone that if the Ravens will win this game, they will be doing something they never did, which is come back by double digits in a playoff game or something like that. So
Stephen Joyce, you were stationed in Norfolk as well, man?
28-12. I thought you said it was 28-14.
28-12. I just looked at it too.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up too.
Hey, Stephen, you might have told me this before. We might have talked before, but what were you stationed on? I was on the Ike. I was on the Eisenhower.
This is wild, bro. Can't believe we're not playing. Gregory said, enjoy your 30s, 40s, things start to slow down for you. Hey.
Don't tell me that, bro. I'm approaching that in a few more years.
Yeah, right.
Any of you Navy guys, were any of y'all ever on? I'll explain to the rest of you guys what this means. Were any of y'all ever on the Shitty Kitty? The USS Kitty Hawk used to be called the Shitty Kitty. Like literally when I was on it one time, bro, they were duct taping that shit, the laggings, like insulation. They were duct taping that shit to keep it up. Bro, it was the most ridiculous shit I've ever been on my life, man.
Kara said 31-28 Ravens win just because I want to be different.
She said I want to be different.
What's it called? I always say it, can't say anything. Jahan. He said when I asked about if the Ravens will win, he said no, they run a high school offense. It don't work in the NFL playoffs. Don't work in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Did someone say playoffs?
Roy Christensen. That's funny, bro.
Might read out.
Did you hear Roy Christensen's comment, or did you see it? Hey guys, I was in the drunk tank.
No, what did he say?
He said he was in a drunk tank during 9/11.
Damn.
Hey Roy, on the real, I got thrown in the drunk tank one time in my life because there's the stupid ass bar that was down in Virginia Beach. It was like called like Peabody's or Peabody, some shit like that. And I came out of the club and I wasn't even really drunk, but I had a few beers. And this Marine that I wasn't beefing with, I didn't know him, he bumped me and damn near knocked me on my ass. So I turned around. I'm like, yo, what the hell is your problem? And I'm not kidding you. This Virginia Beach police officer heard me say that from across the street, blew his little whistle, came running over at me, got in my face and was like, you can't curse on the strip. I'm not lying to y'all. I don't know if they're still there, but they used to have these stupid ass signs on the Virginia Beach strip that said you could not curse. So I got into an argument with this cop. It's like, you didn't just notice this guy nearly knocked me on my ass? Like, are you serious? So the dude was like, I'm going to give you a second warning. You can't curse down here. So I did the thing you should never do to a cop. I said, fuck you. You can't tell me I can and can't curse. He was like, okay, cool. I can't tell you can't be drunk in public. Turn around. I was like, shit. He got me with a checkmate. Yeah, he's right. But I don't know if y'all know this, but if you're in the military, you guys know this. The worst thing that they can ever do to you is not charge you, but give you a courtesy. It's called a courtesy turnover. It's when they turn you over to your command without a charge. And your command processes you. It's not fun because it means you're going on restriction. Probably means you're going to get half pay and you're going to have to work extra. Yeah, when they put you on restriction, it means you can't leave your base and you got to work. Like you got to work until they basically want to let you go back down and go to sleep. It's not cool. 30 days of that will straighten you out, man.
That's wild.
I mean, at least when you're in the military, though, man, unless you got like a family that's depending upon you and stuff like that, and you got to send them money. Like, I mean, they feed you and shit. So, I mean, losing your pay sucks a little bit, but it's not that big a deal.
Jack Maddener said, I'm 30 with an 80-year-old back and about to get my index finger cut off. I told y'all, bought the couple breaking 6 of my ribs. 50, I'm checking out. Ooh.
Damn, bro. Oh, he bought the coupe. Breaking 6 of my ribs.
Oh, I bought the coupe, yeah.
Damn, bro.
Dang.
That sucks, man. That sucks.
Yeah, I never break nothing.
I've never broken anything where I needed to have it set or anything like that. I did some damage to my foot. I've done some damage to my hands and stuff from playing football, but I don't know if anything was really broken because I never went and got x-rays. But oh, Steven was on the Truman. All right. What was your rate, man? I was an AB and ABH that never moved a plane. I worked mostly out of the damage control shop, man. I was on the crash and salvage locker. Gregory said, I like McCown, but look at how quickly he pulled his hamstring. He's 40. Yeah, I like McCown a lot too, and I really do appreciate him toughing it out. But at the same time, man, like there comes a, you know what I'm saying, like where you gotta. I don't know if you can have your pops out there playing football. You know what I mean? He's not really in that Tom Brady like shape. Huh. Stephen Joyce, I fell down the stairs drunk at Peabody's. Yeah, bro, that place was weird, man. I never liked that place.
Damn, Henry has 185 yards with a passing touchdown. Talk about MVP.
Did you see Jason Wall's comment? Said, I think McCown pulled his hammy on that last offensive play. I don't believe he breaks the pocket to run with a hammy. Sorry, I just don't buy it. It's possible that that's where it ripped off the bone.
Yeah, I think that's probably where it ripped off the bone. But you saw him pull. You saw him grab his hamstring like third quarter, right?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. My dog's flipping out over here. I'm about
to. You're good.
Stop, man. I see you. Chillax.
He's like, I want to be in the video.
Probably trying to force me to feed her again, bro. She tries to act like she doesn't eat, man. It's a pit.
Oh, shit.
Jasmine, come here. Jasmine. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll show you here, man. Come here. Fat head. Big ass head. Sorry, bro. She's heavier than me, man. Come here. Come here. I can't. I can get her to freaking pay attention here, man.
It's white?
Yeah, it's white.
That's tough.
Yeah. She's done pretty well, man. She's like 11 at this point, man. Got her forever. She's a pain in the ass, man. She's demanding. Oh, the cops broke his 6 ribs. Damn, bro. That's rough, man. Jayon said he tore every ligament in his right ankle. Worst pain ever. I would imagine, man. Ligaments hurt bad. Ligaments hurt real bad. I think I'd rather break the damn bone than have ligament damage, to be real. Also, doesn't it take longer for ligaments to heal than the bone? Probably similar time, I guess. Damn. She said, I cut my foot open on a floor vent catching my son, who was about to fall off the couch at 9 months. Well, that's rough. Probably scary to tell, too. 18 stitches. Whew.
Damn, Rennie Jones says 7:22 left of the fourth. It's over.
Damn, bro. Rennie Jones got 185 yards with a passing touchdown.
Yeah. I'm about to text my boy who's a Titan fan right now, but like He's real superstitious. If I text him something now, even though it's the game's out of hell, he'll be like, whoa, don't celebrate yet.
Gregory, I agree. It is time for him to retire. I think he needs to become a coach, man. He coaches down here in North Carolina, and he's pretty damn good at it. But I don't know, man. Some dudes, man, they just want to keep going as long as they can, even if it's past their, even if they're past their expiration date. Hang on. Eddie said he broke his forearm when he was 9 to find out years later he broke his collarbone. Ooh, that's rough, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, collarbone's not a joke. That shit hurts. Y'all, the Titans is about to beat the Ravens, and they also knocked off the Pats. Man, the Titans are on a roll, bro.
Remember
that would be a weird ass Super Bowl, man. San Francisco and damn Tennessee.
Ew.
Be a lot of running.
Yeah, right. Damn, if the Tennessee, Ryan Tannehill.
Did you see Jason Wall's shit?
No, what'd he say?
He's been laid up since December 5th because he separated his surgically replaced hip. I feel your pain, bro. That's rough, man. Whoa. Jason, my older brother got into a car wreck, man, when he was really young. And he had to fuse his hip just like Bo Jackson. I know he went through like several surgeries, man. Like he's like, yeah, I think I'd have to ask him, man, but I think he had to go through like actual like litigation for settlements and stuff because of all the surgery. Feel for you, man. That's bad, bro. That's a bad thing to have injured like
that. Gregory Prima said, "You guys are awesome. I would have went by McCown's house too. I'm from Carolina as well. I live in Texas now, and I love to look on the Cowboys' fans' faces when we beat them and made the playoffs."
What part, Gregory? What part of North Carolina are you from originally, man? We happy with the new cornerback signing? I don't know much about him, Chris.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. If we are injured a lot and he gets injured a lot, I might have missed the conversation on him earlier. Just and hi from Australia. What's up, man? Australia, that's cool, bro.
That's what's up.
So to be honest with you, Chris, I don't know much about him, but Philly Mike is doing his research on him now, and he's going to put a video out. So
Trevor Williams, I know his name, and that's pretty much it right now.
Yeah.
Randy Jones says Green Bay and Titans Super Bowl.
Maybe. Might be. Isn't it supposed to be snowing there?
Yo, that's why, you know what we would have been able to do to the Green Bay Packers in the snow if it was a run, if it was just a run the ball kind of game?
Yeah.
My God. Fucking Clowney.
Do you think that, I hate to bring this up, but do you think that Jordan Howard only had a stinger?
No.
There's no way, dude. That's a long-ass time for a stinger.
6 weeks not to play. Then you get in the game. Then you suit up to play the game, and they won't run you? They won't run you? Look, they could have said this then. They could have said, oh, we didn't run him because Miles Sanders and Boston Scott was doing good. But what happened when Miles Sanders went out against the Giants the last game of the season? When Miles Sanders went out, we had one runner back left, and Deuce Staley never runs one runner back. He always using two. There was no reason for him not to touch the ball. Him not touching the ball showed he wasn't ready, and they dressed him just in case of emergency.
Jack, that's funny, bro. Jack says he's got a white pit bull named Lucifer. This one's Jasmine. She's digging at my carpet now for God knows what reason. I think she just wants attention, bro. Let's see. Damn, y'all have some injuries, guys.
Y'all like the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no kidding. McCown for quarterback coach with Carson. I don't dislike that, Randy. I actually like that. But I just don't know they're going to give up on Press Taylor. But, I mean, I will say this. Just because they haven't made the move yet does not mean it won't be made. They normally go 2 to 3 weeks before those positions are finalized. So there's still time. That could happen. Jack, he cut the tender in his finger and have 3 surgeries, and they can't fix it, so it's getting cut off. Bid on base at work. Damn, dude. Yeah, that's not good, man. Jack, just to give you a funny story, man, I hurt my back when I was in the Navy, man. We were doing maintenance, And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. When you do maintenance on certain things like hatches and stuff like that, there's a thing called like a counterbalance on it. And if you mess with that, basically the full weight of that door is on you. And those hatches are like hundreds of pounds. It was me and another dude are holding the hatch up. And a buddy that was holding the hatch up with me while the other guy was doing the maintenance, the dude stopped for 1 second to take a look at some girl passing by, and the ship, like, it moved a little bit. And the dude fell down the damn ladder well, and it started folding me. That's funny, bro. I see.
I said Lamar Jackson in the regular season and Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Man,
Yo.
they about to start roasting this kid. I feel bad because I like some. I like Lamar
Mm-hmm.
Jackson.
But yeah, Jack, they were talking about I went down, started getting like physical therapy and stuff. And they're like, yo, you can go through physical therapy and you can grunt out the pain and just hope everything kind of heals. We can fly you off. I think they wanted to fly me off to like Bahrain and they wanted to do surgery in Bahrain. I was like, hell no, y'all not cutting my back open. No, I don't trust the military enough to do that. So just be careful with that, man. Jack, the Eagles need to put McCown on the coaching staff. 100% agree. Green Bay and Titans Super Bowl might happen, Randy. That might actually happen. Gregory, Fayetteville, Nam. Wow. Gregory out there in Nam. Gregory, military brat, man. Was your mom and pops Fort Bragg? Football sucks without the birds. 100% there, Jayon.
Yes, it does.
Cara says she wants Kansas City to go so that Reed gets his ring. I like Reed, but man, hell no.
Why not?
Man, nah, bro. I don't even want to hear all these scrubs talking about Mahomes and that. Damn, bro. I don't even feel like hearing all that.
You don't like Mahomes, don't you? I remember. Why don't you like Mahomes?
I like Mahomes. It's not Mahomes I don't like. I don't like that damn fan base.
You don't like people how they ride him already? Like they already calling him like.
I think they're creating these like really unrealistic expectations for the kid. So when he doesn't live up to these crazy ass expectations they're setting, then it's going to quickly be, oh, he's trash. You know how they are, man. Like I was talking to the one dude in the comments on that video, man. Like the expectations he was setting for Mahomes, I'm like, bro, you know this kid's not throwing for 50 touchdowns again, bro. It's not gonna happen.
But you got to admit though, 5K, 50 touchdowns, that is
it was a crazy
season, bro.
Yeah, it was a crazy season. He still didn't have the most passing yards though. Do you know that?
Huh?
He still didn't have the most passing yards that year.
Who did?
I think Big Ben outthrew
him. Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, it was close, but
yeah, but that 50 touchdowns comes in handy, bro.
Yeah, I think he definitely crushed him there. Yeah, he's a young guy, growing pains for. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be fine.
Yeah, but I know Mark Ingram was probably pissed. He's like, damn, I got off the Saints. Now I'm on this team that's probably going to get to the Super Bowl. Nope.
Hold on. I think we got some people coming in, man. Hang on. You got Stephen Joyce, right, man?
Yeah, I got Stephen Joyce, but Jack Maddener said his name is Mike something.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him now and put him in.
That's a great name, Mike. Just got to say it there, you know.
I don't even know why it's doing this. I got to set this thing for automatic approval, man. This is crazy. I have to improve every single person.
Yeah. I'm going to start putting it out there to get people in it, but get people in there that are cool, not them crybaby Eagle fans.
Bruh. Man, I was doing battle with some of them dudes at the beginning of the year, man. I really was. It's crazy how much the Foles crap died down.
Yo, Jason Wall said Reed won't ever get the ring because us Philly fans are watching. He can't do it with us watching. What is the page called again? Kara Poole wants to know. I forgot the
Python. I'll post it back in the comments again. I don't know. I picked like the hardest damn name.
Yo, yeah, because when you first sent me this, I'm like, yo, the Python Audible. I'm an admin, and then it said,
I know it's the Python Audible. I just can't remember the full name I put in there. Oh,
why not? So why didn't you make it anything Eagle related?
There's so many of them that were already Eagles related. like the name that like Philadelphia. Like it was really hard to find a name that you know what I'm saying. I would have probably had to
Yeah,
like pick a player or something. Like
I guess.
Car, it's in the comments, I think. Bro, the Nick Foles fanboys, Jayon was it was ridiculous, man. I took some shots, bro. People were like, man,
The
and now they
Foley.
disappeared. Now they disappeared. Now they don't want to talk.
Well, they tried to come back out when he got concussed. They
They ain't come
tried
to me. They ain't come at me. They came at you.
a little bit.
Oof. Yeah, just
With
be
all
careful, Jack. Be careful, man. I would ask to go to a civilian hospital if I was you. I would not do that shit on a military base. Like, I just don't trust. Not that they're not fine people for volunteering their service, but man, I've heard some horror stories coming out of those hospitals, those military hospitals. And if they're anything like the VA, hell no. Like, the VA is the worst, man.
with all that being said, I'm about to head off this thing for
Yeah,
now.
we're getting up close to 3 hours. I was just kind of waiting for the game.
The game to finish, right?
Hmm.
But
Damn, Gregory, you did 20 years, bro. Damn. Congrats, man. That's a pretty big accomplishment. I got a buddy in now, man. He made chief not long ago. He's an AO, aviation ordnanceman. He's a BB stacker. Um, he was, crazy. Like looking back on it, I wouldn't have thought that he would have been the one that stayed in the military, but he did. Damn, Jack. That's a long time, bro. For a pit, 16 years is a very long time for a pit bull.
that makes sense, Jack Maddener. You didn't make it Eagles related. You'll deal with so much bullshit.
Yeah. Damn, Jason. Yeah, I'll check it out, man. I'll check your Twitter stuff out, bro. So it's worse than what Bo went through, huh? I don't know much about it. I just know my brother had like a similar like thing. He's had to have like several surgeries and stuff, and hopefully a lot of that stuff is advanced since then. I mean, Bo did it. What was that? Like the early '90s, man. Bo Jackson, late '80s, early '90s, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I just want to touch on this real quick when it comes to for Chris when it comes to Foles. And I'm probably speaking for Gate City and a lot of people. And when we talk about Nick Foles, the people who side with Carson Wentz, we do not dislike Nick Foles. I am tremendously appreciative of him getting us that Super Bowl. He did a hell of a job. He was a great quarterback in them 2 games. But with that being said, we're talking about the future of the organization. There's no way you can physically say that Nick Foles should be the quarterback going forward over Carson Wentz. And with that being said, some people can't get that through their mind. And at the end of the day, even if you don't feel that way, you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan. You got to cheer for who the quarterback is playing for the Philadelphia Eagles,
Exactly.
regardless. And like I said, if you want to put it up that, look, who has the higher ceiling? Who has the better potential? Who has the longer career ahead of them? It's Carson Wentz in all them categories. Thank you, Nick Foles. Appreciate it. But
Exactly.
when people say we should have got rid of Carson Wentz, Nick Foles should be the starter, that's when I just
Bro,
stopped
yeah.
listening. That's
Come
when I
on,
stopped
man.
listening.
The talent is so different between the two of them. Like, come on. Like, and it's not
Correct.
that I don't like Nick Foles. Like, I was a big supporter of him when the Eagles drafted him, but not that now that I know that we could have had Russell Wilson, that kind of sucks. But
Yeah.
now I like Nick Foles. I like Nick Foles as a person. I liked him as, I loved him in that quarterback role, but they're close, man. Nick Foles and Carson Wentz are actually really close, but I think for the fan base's sanity, you cannot have those two back together.
Mm-mm.
Randy Jones, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks for yours too, bud.
Hey, Jayon, I like that. I like that. Greg Wilson, I agree 100%. Same
Yeah.
with Kara. Randy Jones. Listen,
Hang on, that's funny, bro. I caught that reference.
yeah. Yeah, well, anyways, I'm about to get up off here. I'm about to just catch up some stuff before I fall out. Thank you guys for listening to me, The Gate City. Thank you for having me on here.
Bro, you already know, man. Come on.
And at the end of the day, if any of you guys first time seeing me, you want to check out my stuff, just type in Philly Mike in the search bar. Watch a video. If you like it, click that button. If you don't like it, swipe to the left, like Tinder. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the thing with Gate City, and you know,
Yeah, I'm just trying to hang out for this game, man. Might as well just
now
hang out for
you
the game.
good, you good, you
Yeah.
good. But like I said, well, at the end of the day, now that we know the Tennessee Titans are gonna win, I'm gonna root for. I don't even know who I want to win at the Packers, Seattle Seahawks. But when it comes to
One thing for you jump off, I was going to ask you. So from what I saw, I don't know if this is completely true because I didn't really check into it, but I heard Jadeveon Clowney is not only not going to be fined for that, but the NFL didn't even really bother to even really look into it closely.
no, they didn't do nothing to him. Yep. And then he came out and said that we have the Eagles got the worst fan base ever. Blah 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 blah. Trash.
So what I was going to ask you is, do you see where defensive players are going to take this that, hey, if they break the pocket, refs are holding the flags?
Yeah, but I believe the next one they're gonna call. And then they're gonna get up and be like, what the you know what I mean?
That was the thing I was telling the Seattle fan base. I said, all right, y'all think that shit's all funny. Just know you're one player away from going home too. And if they don't call this shit on Carson and this gets out that the league's not going to, it's not even so much the penalty. Like they're going to penalize it, but you're not suspending players. You're not fining them. Like, dude,
Not ejecting them, yeah.
yeah, I mean, bro, that's going to be open season on some of these quarterbacks.
Yes, it is. But here's the thing.
That, man. I didn't want to say, I was like, yo, I don't want to bring it back up again because I don't feel like, because I was having to go back and forth with Seattle fans on that. It's crazy, man.
But yeah, one last thing before I get off. Here's the thing though. Aaron Rodgers gets hit like that, they're gonna call it. They're gonna protect him. He got good insurance with State Farm.
Bro. Aaron Rodgers gets hit like that, bro. They're gonna cancel the game.
Yeah. All right, guys, yo. Well, have fun watching whatever. Like I said, I'm probably gonna go Packers and Packers Chiefs. What am I talking about? Yeah, Packers Chiefs. So that's my pick.
Packers and Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with the underdog, man. I think I'm gonna go with the Titans, dude, and ride that streak.
Oh no. I'm talking about in the games that are left to play tomorrow. I want the Titans to go far now
Sunday's
too.
games. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Sunday's games. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go like for the Super Bowl pick, man. I think I'll probably go with Titans. Ugh. I think they might have a point. That might be the Titans and the Packers, man. I think the Packers are having everything lined up for them.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Because the Clowney did that, I don't want to root for Seattle, but I like Russ Wilson. I like Russ a lot.
I think he's running out of weapons though, just like we did.
DK says no, we ain't.
No, I mean DK is definitely better than anything we're throwing out there in terms of the talent. But
yeah, I know.
I'm not gonna lie about that in terms of the receivers. But that offensive line is pretty suspect to me, man.
Yeah, it is. All right, peace, guys.
Later, man. Appreciate you, dude. All right, I'm gonna read some of y'all's comments, man. I'm just kind of sticking out for a few more minutes. I figure we might as well get it down close to the. All right. Wilson was drafted like 13 picks ahead of Foles. We would have had to draft Wilson in the second round instead of the third. Probably true, Jack, but it's still kind of crazy that. I mean, think about how many teams, not just us, how many teams let this man go to the third round. Like, I knew Russell Wilson was very good because I'm an NC State fan. I've known this kid since college. Not like we're friends or anything, but I've interacted with him before. He's a nice guy. Like, we went to school together at NC State. He's a very smart guy. You don't get to see a lot of the football players just because their schedules are so drastically different than the rest of the college students. Like, they definitely have like a different, course load than we do. But like you see them around, like you see them inside of like the different like dining halls and stuff. Like we see them. But he was always a cool dude. He seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders. I watched him play a lot of football. Kid was good, man. He was really good at NC State. I mean, he did really well with his 1 year at Wisconsin, man, but he was whew, he was on another level at NC State. It was ridiculous how good he was, especially considering that we didn't really have that great of a team. I mean, Wilson kind of carried us, man. Wilson was like special at NC State. Yeah, Paul, I think me and Mike both are actually pretty big Nick Foles fans, but like you said, man, I mean, there's a difference in talent between Carson Wentz and Foles. Like, it's obvious when you see it on film. Like, you can't really deny that when you see it on the film. It's so damn plain and obvious there. Jack Clowney and Metcalf can take these hands. That's funny, bro. Metcalf at least did it right, bro. But yeah, I don't know what Jim was thinking at the end of that game. I don't know why he brought that all out blitz on a third down like that. Like, if there's any time you want to play sticks, all damn game you're playing sticks when you shouldn't play it. I don't even want to get into it, man. I was so damn mad. I was mad, man. I still feel like even though we lost Carson Wentz, it just felt like if it's a hard ask for your backup quarterback, but if McCown had played better in the red zone, had understood the offense a little better in the red zone, able to get through those reads a little better, was a little more patient in the quarter, inside the pocket. Man, if he had made the right adjustments at the line, like, damn, bro, it was there to take, man. That game was there to take for the Eagles. Now, I will say this: the man ripped his hamstring off the bone, so if Carson Wentz couldn't go this Sunday, man, that means that we would have had probably Nate Sudfeld or Kyle Lauletta as the starting quarterback, man. Like, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. Titan 49ers Super Bowl, not bad. Be kind of a boring one with the running game, but I'll say this about Kyle Shanahan: the kick, he can call plays, man. Yeah, Jack, I was a big fan of that draft pick too. Like, when they really broke down the film on that kid, I was like, man, that kid's got an arm. And he did. Foles had a hell of an arm until he had that shoulder injury, man. But he got beat up when he was with St. Louis, man. They beat him up, man. Chris, I don't think it's a matter of Foles understanding his limitations. Um, I just think that Doug and the way they draw the offense up, I think they're more comfortable with the guy of Foles' skill set. Wentz Wentz does have a bit of Brett Favre to him. I kind of get where your point is, that Wentz is much more of a risk taker. And I've called him out before that sometimes Wentz has this really unrealistic belief in his arm strength that's like he's trying to fit balls in the windows. Like, come on, dude. Like, there's no way that's going to fit. What are you doing? Like, I'll give you that. But it's hard, man. It's hard to say, man, because Wentz is a lot better at reading defenses than people really understand. When you really go back and you look at the film and you break down the film and what he's doing, how he's manipulating the safeties and stuff, like, I got to tell you, man, Wentz has got a grasp of this football game. Pretty damn good at it. If we get shut down corners and cover linebackers, I think Jim can excel with their defense. Yeah, Jim's been asked to do a hell of a lot, man, with very little. No doubt about that, dude. Greg, you're right there. I mean, I'll give you that. Like, he played with some pretty low levels of talent out there, minus the defensive line. So, Carr, that's funny. Yeah, kind of, right? If you don't have a delusional belief in yourself, then you're probably not going to do anything spectacular. But then again, luckily, Wentz has not been a problem with reading the defense and turning the ball over like that. But I do think that even to this day, I still think Wentz has got to get better with the internal clock thing. There is a point where you just got to live to play another down. I do think Wentz needs a little more development with that. Not that that's like that's not a big crime. I mean, a lot of quarterbacks go through that. Aaron Rodgers has that problem at times when I watch him on film. Like, everyone goes through those periods of times where they're just trying to make a play and you hold the ball too long. And some of the times I really watched film and I broke down the film on Wentz and I was showing people stuff, I did notice when you go to games like New England and Seattle, because the offense was stalling so much, what ended up happening with Wentz holding the ball is you keep going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, right? Well, puts pressure on you to extend the drive to keep your defense fresh. That's when you start really getting to the problem of holding the ball. But I will admit, man, he's got to work on that a little bit. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the season, the way he picked up the timing and the rhythm offense, he got better at that. He got a lot better at it. There were still, a couple plays you could cherry pick here and there, but it wasn't a systemic issue with this play. If that makes sense. Chris, that's what I was just getting into, which is holding the ball. But Chris, some of that's it's not a fair comparison to Foles, because while Foles, not that the Eagles didn't have injuries with Foles was playing with a full deck in terms of the players around him, in terms of his skill position players. Some of what causes Wentz to have to hold the ball is when you had these long developing plays and receivers not separating, you hold the ball. Mike McFarty. That's funny, bro. Amit Sharma, I will say this, man. It is very suspect to say that Alshon was the source of the comments from this season. But you are wrong on one aspect. We know for 100% fact he did talk shit the season prior about Wentz. That was caught on audio. They did know it was him. Now, the shit that popped off this year, there's reason to suspect that that's BS, that it was not necessarily him. Now, I don't know if he didn't say it. That's not why I would move on with or without him, because the one thing that's not deniable about him and me is when he left the field, the team got better. So to me, it's not about anything about that. It's about if the team's better when you're not there, that's got to be taken into consideration. Now, me personally, I would probably keep him on IR or the PUP list, just because why cut a guy that's not going to count against your roster anyways, just for the sake of cutting him? To me, that doesn't make sense. You're going to save money by if you just hold him on the IR, and then the next season, now your cap space works out because his dead cap money isn't nearly as much. So you save yourself a little bit of money. I mean, that's my opinion on it. I was watching film today, to be honest, to me. In the first game, Alshon Jeffrey looked really good, man. I think that the injury played a pretty large role in his production this season. When you go back and you watch the Washington game, and I would encourage people, if you have NFL Game Pass, go watch that Washington game again, because he was getting separation. There was one play in particular I can think of where he caught a little ball in like a 4 or 5 yard out route, muscled off the cornerback, and then, I mean, he took it upfield on him. Like, that's the Alshon we were hoping we were going to get the whole season. We didn't get it. I mean, the whole season's disappointing in me. I mean, from Djax going down to Alshon and the issues there to losing Jordan Howard after the Bears game, the offensive line. I mean, it was a disappointing season, man, all the way around. Chris, I think our offensive line is very good, but I also think it has an issue with age. We need to get younger at certain key positions there. Titans might be going on a run, man. Like, why wouldn't Wentz throw it to the most reliable person? It's hard because some people, like, it's easy if you're looking back and you don't understand the actual progression. So every play has a built-in progression, and that's determined by the Mike linebacker. So if your Mike linebacker is in a certain position, like if he's lined up in a certain area on the field, then it's going to change the progressions you go through as a quarterback. A lot of people don't have the knowledge because they haven't really played the position like that. I have. That's why I'm able to see that kind of stuff. So sometimes people don't realize that you might only have a 3 or 4 read progression. So you can see a guy that might come open, but if he's not part of that progression, that's really on the coaching staff to see that play on film, and then next time realize that, hey, man, like, either during the course of the game, we need to add this guy into the progression because he's getting open on this particular play call, or you got to build it in for the rest of the season going forward. That's got to be added to your progressions. That's the problem when you go into certain concepts like the half field concept. Half field concept is what a lot of high school quarterbacks run. That's a 3 read progression. It means you go through a quick and simple 3 reads. Guys, I'm going to get into all this during this offseason. I'm going to share some of my knowledge with you guys about how quarterbacks do these type of things, the things we see on the line, how we go through our progressions, all that stuff, guys. It's not as simple. So it's way more complex than what a lot of you guys realize. And sometimes it's not the quarterback. Sometimes it's your offensive coordinator and your head coach, play callers. It's the way that they build those progressions into the playbook. A lot of that factors in. Jack, yes, Kelsey's a problem with his age, but it's not really his age as much as it is to me is the fact that he's already contemplating retiring. You can argue that, you know what? You can look at that right side and say that age isn't a problem. Both of those guys, I think, are around 29-ish, so they're getting close to that 30-year-old threshold, but both of those guys are getting injured at right tackle and right guard. So they're excellent football players, and Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm definitely working towards making sure I get a little younger along that line. I think you got some guys there in terms of like Suamalu. You got some guys there and like Dillard coming up. If we think Sua Pet is going to be a football player. However, we got another guy that's the what's his name, Jordan Mailata. That's an uncertainty. He's young, but no one can be confident that this kid is going to be it. He's going to have his opportunity next season because he will probably be that swing guard tackle. Matt Pryor, I thought proved himself a little bit this season. So we'll see. To me, I would definitely probably spend a pick on the offensive line if the stars line up and the right players there. I would definitely take a pick there. You can never have too many good offensive linemen. It's just the truth. Alshon will not be ready by week 1, man. You're wrong there. He broke the problem with the Lisfranc he has there is it's the Lisfranc that requires surgery. It's the same exact injury that Jalen Mills went through. He will not be ready by week 1, man. What you're thinking of is when you look at the guys like Prevon LeBlanc. Those guys did not require surgery on that. The healing process is a little less for that. So I doubt he's going to be ready for week 1. Carr, yeah, I think he grew as a quarterback as well. Like I said, when I was watching film of him, I did see a lot of growth from Carson, like his movement in the pocket, the way he was manipulating defenses. Like he grew a lot from week 1 to, like I said, week 17. It was pretty remarkable. My question is who's responsible for the growth? I'm a little iffy to put that, not put that, but to credit that to basically Preston Taylor. I'm a little iffy on that, man, personally. They say Carson Wentz is overrated. When they make him throw the whole game, look what happened when they made Lamar Jackson throw the whole game. He missed passes that you need to make. Yeah, the more Eagles clips, the more times you throw the ball, the more susceptible you're going to be to having incompletions. No doubt about it, man. I don't think that Carson is as inaccurate as people think. Like I said, a lot of people are judging this kid who've never played the quarterback position. There are certain passes you make to where if you miss the throw, you're throwing it in a certain location for a reason. So your guy only has the chance to make that particular reception. So there's no opportunity for that pass to be picked off. A lot of people don't know that, and they make comments. That's why you really got to pay attention to people like Dan Orlovsky, and there's another guy, what's his name, JT Yates from the quarterback school. Like guys like that can help break down film and show you guys ball location. A lot of people make a lot of comments, man. I've listened to Max Kellerman. I've listened to a lot of people who have never played a down at quarterback trying to give an opinion, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about because they don't understand ball placement. And I'm not saying he doesn't miss on throws. He does miss on throws. I've pointed them out myself, but it's not nearly as often as people think. They also don't understand that a throw can look really bad if a player is not where they're supposed to be inside of the route tree. That's the other part of it that they miss a lot. Kurt Cumberbatch, blocking tight end, bigger linebackers. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, man, that we need an infusion of talent at linebacker. I was disappointed with Dallas Goedert this season. in terms of his blocking. Not as, I thought he got a lot better in the receiving game. I think he's really came on that part, but he was really rolling out defeated defenders. That was not a good look. He looked a lot better as a blocking tight end his rookie year than he did the second year. So I don't know what's going on there, man. It was not a good look though. Yeah, Jason Wall, Alshon's problem's not talent. It's not that Alshon lacks talent, but call it what you want, man. When he left, his team got a lot better. I don't know why it is, and I'm not telling people that they should or shouldn't, move on from him. I think it's something you have to go back. The coaches have to put this stuff on film and try to figure out what the hell is going on, because you can't overlook the fact that the team got better. When that happens, you got to look at it. It may have nothing to do with Alshon. There could be a million other reasons why, but there's a correlation. Doesn't mean it's a causal relationship. There's a correlation there. So they got to do what they got to do to really look that over and figure out why that occurred. Could be more so the fact that we didn't see Alshon in the second half of that football game. He left pretty much on what was like the second or third play of the second half. So could just be when they made that switch to the timing and rhythm offense, Alshon unfortunately went down right as they made that switch. So like I said, man, none of these things are as easy as people want to make them out to be. But there is an obvious thing there that when he left the game, the Eagles got better. So it's a tough thing for the coaches to go through, man. I mean, Alshon, I can tell you, when I watch film and I look at Alshon's game from an ex-receiver standpoint, there's a big, big difference in skill between Alshon, Rob Davis, and JJ. You can count in Jordan Matthews and those other guys we had, but I'm not even going to count them. They were trash to me. I thought Jordan Matthews would be a lot better than what he was. To me, when I looked at film, Rob Davis showed potential. But Alshon Jeffrey's catch radius, when I looked at on film, it was pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie to you. He's got a very good catch radius. But he's very expensive, man. He's an expensive wide receiver for the Eagles, and some of these decisions will not be easy. So, I mean, that's why I'm glad I don't have to actually make those type of decisions. He's skilled. Anyone who tells you he's not skilled, you know what I'm saying? What's up, 2020 Vision? Jack, exactly, man. If you're expecting your receiver to be in one place and they're not there, it's going to look real bad to the casual fan. It's going to look like Carson is missing like crazy, and that's not what's happening. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, he had about 30 completions each game. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Jack. Like it's kind of hard to break down what happened, just because like we did change up the offense coming out of the second half of that Giants game. So there was definitely like a difference in the identity of the Eagles. That's why I'm saying it's really hard, because if we saw Alshon play when they changed the identity, we would have a better idea. But because Alshon left the game right as we were switching the identity, it does make it really hard to analyze that. That's why I don't like to go definitive on things, just because it's none of this stuff is as easy as people want to make it out to be, guys. It's not. Cat dog hybrid CDH. Are the Eagles going somewhere good next season? Possibility. I mean, I think we're going to be talented. There's a million things got to happen in this season. I think Carson Wentz is special. Cat dog, I think he's a very special quarterback. And if we get the right pieces around him and we build that defense up to be respectable, we got a shot, man. We got some guys coming back in Malik Jackson. I think getting a guy like Hassan Ridgeway back, if we can't get Jernigan to sign, is going to be a big deal. Like, I think one of you guys mentioned this earlier, and I don't know if I read it, but one of you guys were talking about needing a defensive end, and I agree with that. We do I think we need a little more along that defensive end, but I think the opportunity's there. I think we could be good. So, Paul, that is definitely part of it, sir. You're right there. So, on running plays, you absolutely have to identify the mic, because that sets the protection at the line. It also does the same thing for passing. But also when you're so just give you a little tidbit, and I'll go more into it when I do the videos, guys, but when you're playing quarterback and you're looking at the mic linebacker, so you want to look to see where the mic is lined up. So if you're in a, so just to say you're in a let's say you're in a, what they call a 3 by strong set. So you got trips, okay? And your mic is playing off to the right. Well, that's going to set your progression. So if your mic is off to your right, that would be the offense, or I'm sorry, the defensive left, the offensive right. If he's off to the right a little bit, so now you're going to definitely change your progressions. So let's say you got a hitch route. So your first progression is a hitch route, but the mic is right in the lane of that hitch route. That's not going to be your first progression anymore. You get what I'm saying? Like, people don't really get that how important these audibles and calls are at the line. And that's what I see. Carson did really good down the stretch. He was incredible at doing that down the stretch. He played football at a very high level. But you definitely got some knowledge, man. You're right. It's exactly part of what they're doing. Philadelphia Sports Talk. What's up, buddy? What do I think about Trevor Williams? Honestly, I haven't had a lot of time to watch film on him yet. I know some people are talking him up and think he's going to be a decent player, but honestly, man, I think our corners are so suspect right now that, I think there's an opportunity for guys to come in here and really get playing time and really get a chance to showcase themselves. I still think, to be honest with you, Philadelphia Sports Talk, we need to address the corner position in the draft. Jack, yeah, he was injured since week 2. I agree. If you look at like I said, Jack, if you go back and you look at week 1, to me, he played pretty damn good at the X. I mean, that catch radius was ridiculous, man. Like, he was pretty good, man. Eddie, he is a bit injury prone because he uses his body. He's using his body for positioning, so of course it's going to expose you to injuries. But I can tell you this, Eddie, and I'm telling you, if you don't have NFL Game Pass, man, you should consider getting it. It's not really that expensive. But if you go back, you watch the replays on Game Pass and go back to week 1 and watch before his injury and just look at the way he used his body to get that catch radius. Look at the explosion he had before that injury. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't move on from Eddie, because like I said, the coaches have got to get in there and they've got to diagnose why this offense improved, once he left. Was it because of the change of identity? Like, it's crazy, bro. There's a lot of things there, man. Yeah, Deshaun Hall got put on IR, man, that last game, and like, I think he's gone 2020 vision. Unfortunately, I think he might be the odd man out there. But you know what? I probably shouldn't say that, to be honest with you, 2020 vision, because we don't really know what moves how he's going to make, and Deshaun Hall is young, so we'll see, man. Yeah, Jack, I'm with you on the defensive end, man. We got to have guys that are definitely a little more. Yeah, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside not stepping up was, to me, it's one thing that you didn't step up when Alshon Jeffrey left and was injured. It was even worse when Rob Davis came in and on film, he looks a million times better than you. Now, I don't know, maybe J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was going through an injury of his own. I don't know. Sometimes they don't disclose stuff, but it didn't look good on the film, man. It looks like he doesn't understand how to like really run routes yet. That's a problem, especially coming out of David Shaw's offense. The one thing you should be ready for is an NFL, route tree. Like, they already run that at Stanford. Yeah, that was tough, bro. Jack, I hope so, man, about the Super Bowl thing. I saw that. That's funny, bro. I saw that, Jason. So Jason said, look, he looked pretty good in the Miami game, his last full game. And then, he got hurt. Jason, like I said, man, it's a tough thing because, number one, I honestly don't think that injury is just going to be like, oh, you're back week 1, man. It required surgery on it. Lisfranc. Like, look, I don't know the dude personally. And even if you do know the dude personally, you never know how a guy's going to heal. Different dudes heal differently. But I can tell you, having a foot injury as a wide receiver, that's concerning, man. It's not you can get by on some foot injuries if you're playing the offensive line. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can't quite use your weight correctly. There's some differences there, but you can tough it out there. It's a little hard to do that as a wide receiver, man. Ravens lost, bro. I kind of figured that was going to happen when I saw the Titans go up 14-0, man. It's a hard team to come back on. Chris, good catch there, bro. I agree with that, man. The Avery is a very good speed rusher, but he's undersized on setting that edge. Yeah, man. He's very strange that we spent the draft capital we spent to go get Avery because he's very specialized. He's more of a third down pass rush specialist. He's got some coverage ability, though. He does pretty well dropping back into coverage as a defensive end just to kind of mix it up. He does really well standing up in the Joker rushing. But, man, he did get burned a couple times on movement where they basically caught him on like a jet motion and stuff like that. So, bro, he's got to definitely improve there. I'm not the mic. It's funny, bro. I think the Eagles will bring up Joe Osman and Hall. I don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Hall. Like I said, I think he might be the odd man out. I know the Eagles had a role in mind for Joe Osman. Eddie, the reason I kind of recanted a little bit on Deshaun Hall is that the last game when he got injured, he did receive the most snaps I think he had either in quite a long time or the most he had all season. So generally speaking, that's a pretty positive, trend to go on. So it does make me a little hesitant to say he won't be back, but I think given the log jam we have at defensive end, especially with Joe Osman coming back, Vinny Curry is going to open a spot because he likely won't be back unless they sign him back on another 1-year veteran type contract. But it gets into that numbers game, right? It gets into your numbers game again, like who you taking out, who you leaving in, kind of thing. Chris, are you referring to Alshon being injury prone? Yeah, as you get older, they all start getting like that. I think the problem is that the talent level is so different, though, man. What's up, Loyal Bird? How you doing, buddy? I think Holyfield will show out behind their line. I'm excited to see what this kid does next season. I'm excited to see him inside of the different workout programs we have, seeing him in summer camp, training camp, preseason. I think we're going to need a physical back. I hope it's Jordan Howard, but you can't depend on that. The kid, Jordan Howard, might get an opportunity to start somewhere. And if I'm Jordan Howard, I love the Eagles and everything, but if someone's going to give me a starting role, I'm going to take the starting role. Aguilar is fast, but can't catch. That boy can't even catch a cold, man. Aguilar should have replaced Darby. That would have been really weird if he actually was good at it, right? That would have been really strange. They said, so, yeah, JJ had a foot injury, Eddie, definitely at the end of the season. But I'm wondering if he's had something like lingering most of the year because he didn't look right, man. He's not really good in his routes. Like he's not getting in and out of the breaks well. Like if you go back and you watch JJ Arcega-Whiteside in the preseason and then watch him in the regular season, like there's a difference, man. There's a big difference. With all the red zone trips, sorry guys, it keeps messing with me. Number 18, never threw to the end zone play calling. Well, Kirk, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's not making those adjustments at the line because he's not as familiar with the adjustments in the playbook as like Carson is. He's got to remember before we went on this run, one of the big moves that they made, Kirk, is they gave Wentz more control over the play calling. So I don't know that as good as Josh McCown is, I don't know if he's built that same way. Josh McCown has been kind of a subpar quarterback when he's had to play. I do think that he's an NFL guy and he understands offenses, but something was going on there, man, because it's ridiculous that we were in the red zone that much and we didn't really do anything with those opportunities. So, clearly he played really well 20-20. Then we got inside that 20. Wasn't so good. What's up, Ali? How you doing, man? The cornerback we just signed is injured. That's crazy, dude. I hope not, man. That sucks because we got enough problems with injuries. We don't need to be adding to injuries, as you're saying. You think we missed Freddie Mitchell? Yeah, Chris, the press conference J.J. Arcega-Whiteside gave at the end of the season was not a vote of confidence. I agree with you there. The way I criticized being a little afraid about our prospects at left tackle, if we're having guys like Dillard who have issues with the mental part of the game. That does scare me that JJ was so far down. I will say this, that when Peters came in and talked to the kid, Dillard played a lot better, but he seemed to let that get into his head again on the right tackle thing. Not that it wasn't unfair to ask him to play right tackle the way we did with him having no experience, but I think he compounded it by playing the head games. I think you can see that in JJ Arcega-Whiteside as well. That clearly, you know what I'm saying? If you've been the man all through college and you had all this productivity and you come in the league and it's harder than you thought, I can see that messing with your confidence. It's hard, man, because I have trouble empathizing with them because I've never been an athlete at the level that these guys are. Like, I can only imagine like how hard it is if you're not immediately a star, but you've been a star your whole life. Like, if that makes sense. Like, that just seems like really crazy to me. Ali, I don't know any of that stuff about Nelson Agholor, man. Like, I just think for Nelson's sake, man, it's time to part ways. I could see Nelson completely going to another team and being successful. I could see that. Like, Nelson's a good football player if you use him in the role he's supposed to be used in. The kid cannot track the football, though. You can't ask him to track the football. And using him as like, oh, he's a dude that's going to replace, he's going to come in and basically take part in the packages that has to replace Deshaun at times. That was not the right role for Nelson. Like, I can see him going to another team where they use his yak ability and he'd be very successful. Yeah, but Chris, I will say this, man. You can't compare Greg Ward Jr. to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside because Greg Ward Jr. has had 3 years for that step up, man. Got to keep that in mind. JJ hasn't had that yet. Now, I'm disappointed in the fact that JJ Arcega-Whiteside looks so incompetent running the routes. It'd be one thing if he was just struggling with other things, but when you're struggling with the route tree, that part bothers me because he should have some basic knowledge of the route tree. Now, it's hard to say, compare a guy to Greg Ward Jr. because Greg Ward Jr. played quarterback. So Greg Ward Jr. has a different appreciation and understanding of where to be in a progression, where to be inside your route tree while that quarterback's going through the progression. So it's a little unfair to compare him to Greg Ward Jr., but I do get your point that other people have had to overcome obstacles as well, and JJ did not overcome them. I agree with you there. Car, this one, so when you do StreamYard, you can't do wrenches, but the next time I jump on for YouTube, I'll get you a wrench. Nelson isn't a frontliner. Yeah, Chris, he's not. He's not a frontliner. Like, I don't know why they thought that he would be an appropriate fill-in for Djax. Like, you can even see there was a play. So if you look at the Eagles game against the Redskins, that's the freshest one I have in my mind. There was one play where Carson tried to do a real quick pass out to Deshaun. There's that one where Deshaun had to like extend his body out and reach for the ball. Well, it looks like Deshaun pulled a muscle or something, or he got a little injured on that. So you can see immediately he calls for to the bench. And who do they send in for him? They send in Agholor. That was, to me, when I saw that on film, I was like, oh, Doug, what are you doing? That's not a good personnel decision. These are two completely different types of receivers. They're not the same. Chris, I don't know that it's fair yet to say that J.J. Arcega-Whiteside doesn't have football intelligence. Separation is a problem. I mean, he's at the end of the day, man, he's a rook. He's a rook, man. I mean, we don't know. It was weird. So I'll say this, Chris. It was weird the way that they said, like, oh, he's just going to study the X. And then they're like, oh, he's going to study the X and he's going to study the Z. Oh, now he's going to study the X, Z, and the Y. But mind you, he doesn't have as much time in practice to do that anymore because the Players Association restricts how much practice time you get. So, like, saying guy's going to specialize, but you didn't do it from training camp, summer, you know what I'm saying? Like, give him the full off season, and then I'll make the judgment. Now, I'll say this, Chris. There's nothing about what he did and the way he ended with that press conference that makes me think that he's a replacement for Alshon. I don't have confidence in that, but I also realize that he hasn't been given an adequate opportunity yet either. But, yeah, the way he ended on that press conference, the press conference kind of pissed me off a little bit because he just looked like he was like, okay, like, you know, I, you know, I'm not. He seemed unprepared, which is not good. Oh yeah, Chris, I'm sure it messed with his head, dude. Has to. Eddie, yeah, I don't know about like his like the. I think you're right about the preparation. Like he was not prepared to step in yet. I don't know what the organization sold him on when they gave him that phone call and told him he was going to be drafted and explained his role. If they caused some of this by basically making JJ feel as if he wasn't going to have to be the man right away, but definitely, like Chris is alluding to, it's really disappointing that when his number was called, he couldn't be the man. Like that's disappointing. What's up, man? What's going on, Mobile? It's based on his heritage. Yeah, I mean, he's got his both his parents were athletes. 2020 vision, Big V. I would take Big V at this point over Peters because Big V can play a pivotal guard tackle role. But I think the problem with Big V is he's going to find a starting role somewhere else. So he's probably going to leave to be a starter. Yeah, bro. I don't know about that weird pronunciation he has, like the Arthega instead of like Arcega, but it's spelled out like Arcega. Like it's weird, man. I ain't gonna question the man. It's his name, but it's really weird. It seems like a lot of people are kind of split on the JJ Arthega Whiteside thing, man. Seems like you guys are really split on that. Loyal Bird, I don't know, man. They got to work in Avery. He was definitely a specialist this season. He's got to work on his run defense, man. He's got to learn how to set that edge better. Yeah, his false starts were a little frustrating this season. Car, his false starts were really frustrating. John, yeah, Jayon, he does have like huge upside, but I will have to see, man. He didn't develop, man. It's hard to say that Chris is being unreasonable. And you know what I'm saying? Because he was very disappointing. Yeah, guys, Cara and Chris, he's Spanish. His parents are Spanish. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's mom or his dad, but I want to say that one of them ended up playing overseas in Spain, and that's where he was born. Yeah, I think if he doesn't produce this year, John, like you have to, you got to be on his ass, man, because he's not like. I think one of his parents played in one of the European basketball leagues, and the team they played on was in Spain, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to say like I think both of his parents were like really big athletes, like they were really good athletes, from what I understand. I remember reading something about him like at the beginning of the season about that. Loyal Bird, I think Epps has a shot to be that third or fourth safety, but we'll have to see, man. I mean, the Eagles liked him. They liked him, earlier on when he was in the draft. So there's a reason why they targeted him when Minnesota let him go. Yeah, the pronunciation of his name is really weird, Carr, but I don't know. Yeah, Chris, I like Greg Ward Jr. I think Greg Ward Jr., I think Boston Scott, I think Perkins really showed up this year. I think those three guys in particular are going to have roles on the football team next year. Um, I am concerned about the deeper depth we have. I think we have a lot of improvement still needs to be made with the deep depth on this team. I think, like the situation with Alshon is it's definitely awkward, but I don't know that it's not salvageable. Jason, I don't know if that's true, bro, but that's pretty interesting if it is. You said you don't like Epps, but he's better than Andrew Sendejo. I mean, at least with Epps, he's young. I mean, Epps, you can chalk it up to being young and being forced into a bigger role than you're probably ready to, take in. I mean, most of these guys, like, I can see them growing. I can also see moving on from. That's the problem. You can't see Ward being here for more than 3 years. It's hard to say how long someone's going to be here. I mean, it depends on circumstance. If he continues to be Carson Wentz's like favorite target, then well, I wouldn't say his favorite target, but one of his favorite targets, he might be here for the long term. Yeah, Chris, but I don't know many teams that don't suffer injuries, man. You got to have that depth, man. Depth can kill you if you don't got it. Especially if you're going to rock into the season with older players. If you're going to have an element of your team, like a position of your team, it's going to be older. So if we're going to roll into the season with Alshon and with Deshaun, those are guys. I think Alshon's pushing 30 now. Deshaun's over 30. You better have backup plans. You got JJ. You either believe that he can develop or you don't. You got Rob Davis if you don't believe he can develop. There's going to be a lot of difficult decisions got to be made, guys. I'm just glad I don't have to make those decisions because some of these things are not easy. I don't, Jayon, I think he's more than just a story man. Like he's a very good route runner. Loyal Bird, I think it's going to be either corner or wide receiver. It'll depend on who's available. There's more receivers in this draft, so if people start getting quarterback happy, they start getting offensive line happy, and players start sliding down the board, and we can get one of these top flight receivers at 21, or move up a couple spots and get one. I can see us targeting a receiver. I don't know who would be available there for the corner. Like you also got to think about where we're drafting and who might be available. So I'd have to look into who the available corners are. Yeah, he's a good gadget guy. Yeah, John, but we're not talking about a project as in like a project that you have to develop a guy. You're talking about designing plays in the playbook because he wasn't there from the beginning of the season to have those gadget plays already there. So giving him an opportunity to throw the ball on a trick play, stuff like that. That stuff does take time to develop. Yes, mom was a basketball player. Nah, John, it doesn't work like that. You're wrong there, buddy. That doesn't move Ward down to the fourth receiver. You got an X receiver, which JJ Arcega-Whiteside is your X. He's been trained to play the Y a little bit, and he played a little more Y than I expected him to play. But he's supposed to be your future X receiver. You got Deshaun Jackson, which is a Y. So your Y receiver is what you call a flanker. So your flanker is the guy who's going to be off the line of scrimmage a little bit. You can motion them, stuff like that. In theory, what you really need is a Y. You need someone at the Y positioning to cover D-Jacks, someone with speed in case someone goes down. Technically, Greg Ward Jr. is your Z. He's a slot receiver. To me, there's not really 1, 2, 3, 4s. It's your X, Y, your Zs. Then your fourth guy is preferably a guy like JJ, who in theory can play all those positions. Your fifth guy is normally a special teams contributor type. So I think you need more than one guy to bump JJ or to bump Greg Ward Jr. out of that positioning. Or you would need to draft a guy who specializes as a slot. Yeah, I think Jason Watt. I think they were in the Clowney trade talks, but you know, yeah, the kid. If you're talking about Chenault, was he the kid from Colorado? Yeah, the big kid, 6'2" or whatever. Yeah, he'd be a good. He's a very good prospect. I would like to see someone that we can get with a little more speed. Jayon, I don't think so, man. I think you're underestimating how good Greg Ward Jr. is, man. I think he's a lot better than you think. And you cannot underlook chemistry with the quarterback when it comes to the receiver play. And for whatever weird reason, Greg Ward Jr. and Carson Wentz have got some kind of chemistry between them. All right, Carl. Yeah, I'm about to end it too. I'm just trying to answer a few more questions before I jump off. All right, Kurt Cumberbatch. The way number 9 knew his checkdowns, can number 11 develop that? Just to get the ball out of his hands, because Carson sometimes looks deep, then forgets flats, moves, then the ball is slapped out of his hands. So that's not because. So when the ball gets slipped out of his hands, Kurt, it's ball. It's the way that Wentz. A lot of quarterbacks do this. So when you go from something that's called the ball shelf, so your ball shelf was up here by your chest, okay? It's up by your pec muscle. So when you're going from your ball shelf, right? So you're leaving that ball shelf going up to what's called you're leaving your ball carriage. It's your ball carriage. Up to your ball shelf, you're supposed to have an even movement going upward. What you don't want to do is go from your ball carriage and go down and then try to come back up to your ball shelf. If you do that down motion, that's when you get stripped. That's when you see these defensive linemen are very good at seeing that and stripping the ball. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I wasn't guilty of that when I played. I was horrible at that myself. I don't know why we do that as quarterbacks, why it's so natural to go down, because it's not supposed to be, but a lot of us are guilty of it. And I saw a lot of plays where Wentz kept doing that. The other thing is that maybe it's because he's so skilled as an athlete, the kid just didn't keep two hands on the football. So he'll be in there and with the ball carriage like this, but instead of having that other hand on the ball, he's sitting there, he's kind of being a little lackadaisical with it. Think about it. It's like a running back that doesn't really tuck that ball away and really protect the ball going into contact. Kind of the same thing. You're going to get stripped like that if you keep doing it, right? Defense are going to come punch that ball out. And that's what's kind of happening to him. So now Carson, it's not that Carson doesn't have the ability to hit the checkdowns. He overlooked them sometimes. I agree with you there. But the Eagles built this vertical stretch offense with Carson and then really didn't build that timing and rhythm offense until later in the season. I think the real question is where does this offense go now? Are we going to stay a timing and rhythm? Are we going to be a vertical stretch offense? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to be more of a 12-man bang inside with the running backs? Like, a lot of things got to be answered, man. There's a lot of things got to be answered from like the scheme wise of this. Sidney Jones definitely start to grow some confidence. I agree with you there. But Chris, the problem I have with Sidney Jones is I see a guy who's very competent in man coverage. He's very incompetent in zone. He does not play the zone very well. Carr, I'll see you later, hon. So yeah, Ward has surprising bursts. He's not like a burner, but he gets in and out of those breaks quickly. Jack and Knight, man. Yeah, I'm about to head out too, guys. I'm just trying to close out a few of these comments, man. I want to be rude and just close out on y'all. Yeah, I know what you meant, Chris. I got you, bud. Yeah, I agree with you, Jason. Greg Ward Jr. He's probably going to be the future slot. All right, y'all. Look, man, I'm going to have some videos coming up this week, guys. I'm going to be breaking down a lot of things. Like I said, I'll be breaking down. One of the first things I'm going to do is probably Monday, guys. I'm going to hit you guys with a video that is an anatomy of the play. I'm going to show you how we set up some plays in that Washington game. I'm going to break down how you beat a cover 2 defense. I'm going to show you the different forms of the cover 2, and I'll show you how we adapted to that. Guys, I got to run, man, because this dog's driving me crazy. I think she wants to go for a long walk, so I got to take her ass on a walk. All right, y'all. Peace out. Y'all know what time it is. EAGLES. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Guys, if you want to leave some comments, I might not get to it tonight, but I'll wake up tomorrow morning. I'll look at your comments, all right? So if you guys want to hit me up on some comments, that's fine, man. Hit me up on some comments, and I'll answer them for you guys tomorrow, all right? All right, y'all. Peace. Chris, later, man. All right, y'all.